Oh, God, I have to do this right. Am I live? Good morning, Turquoise, Remy. Who else is here? Kathy. How are you guys this morning? Oops. I have my sound on. What's up? How was your weekend? Oh my gosh, it was only 43 degrees this morning when I got up. 43. So happy birthday, Shauna, on the bottom of my screen. That's my daughter. It's her birthday today. So I thought I'd put it on the bottom of the screen. Good morning, Miss Murder. You coming up? Of course you are. Oh my goodness. I just watched your video, by the way. It's hilarious. I think Misdemeanor is going to come up too. I'm going to talk about pets and there's this show. I guess it's on what's it on? It's on. Hi, Charlie girl, Turquoise. How are you guys? It's on not Netflix. What's that other one? Amazon Prime. It's called Celebrity Ghost Stories. Hello, my love. My sweet girl. There's Miss Murder. Hello, Miss Murder.
Hello. How are you guys?
Happy birthday, mini me. I can't hear you if you have your sound on. I can't hear you. Can anybody hear Miss Murder?
Hang on a minute.
Oh, shit, I know why. I turned my sound down.
Okay. So it's you. It's you, not me.
Misty Flowers, is that you, Misdemeanor? Misty Flowers? I don't know who Misty Flowers is.
I've never heard that name.
No, I don't see no picture. I don't see, yeah. If you don't have a picture, I'm not letting you in.
No, Misdemeanor's in chat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think it is. Nice try.
Yeah, if you don't have a picture, you're not coming up. Sorry. There's just no freaking way.
This is no, I'm me.
No, yeah, I know. That's why, like, I don't know who. So she's getting kicked.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, kicked out. Done. Hi, Bailey. How are you, sweetheart? Hello.
I don't understand. Bailey's saying it's her. I don't know.
No, she always comes up on her own name. So I know Mr. Murder always comes up on her own name. So I don't know who Misty Flowers is. I don't know who you are, but nice try. Nice try. I'm very leery about letting up someone that I've never seen before in my chat, nor
with everything that's going on, I don't blame you.
Or someone that won't come up. I think it's just smart, because I put my, I'm putting my link in the chat, so you got to be, careful who you let up. You can't let anybody up.
I've been up all day, so that's why I haven't got the cam on. I'm just like, at the moment.
That's how I was yesterday. I was like, blah, 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 blah.
So, yeah, I'm at that point where I didn't go to sleep early in the afternoon and sleep through till like 9 o'clock at night. So now I'm at that point where I'm like overtired.
Oh, so when I get overtired, I get past sleepy, and that's when I can't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that, you're so tired you can't sleep.
Yep. Yeah, that's what's happening at the moment, and so I can't stay on till 1 o'clock in the morning like I till midnight like I normally would. One, because I'm overtired, and two, because we've got the addiction and recovery live tonight at 7 Eastern.
Well, my daughter called me yesterday to see if I was okay because she's, worried about all the riots and stuff. We're getting quite a few riots here in Pittsburgh.
I
mean,
saw
it's crazy.
Yeah, Ginger showed me, and I saw it's getting crazy in Philly.
I heard our president spent the night in the bunker.
Oh, hello.
Morning.
Didn't see you there.
Because we apparently live in a country full of asshats.
Is that Ginger?
Huh?
Is that a picture of Ginger?
Yeah, no, that's Bessie.
Okay, that's
Bessie.
She's the new boss, right? She's the new boss.
Yeah, she thinks she is. She thinks she is.
Well,
she wishes.
She wishes she is.
Little shit.
Just to let you all know, I was not laughing because Misdemeanor put her dog down.
Oh God, no. Let me tell you, I had spent the night before. My dog has been dying for the better part of a year. Just so you know. I'm sorry. My husband's dog.
I'm so sorry, honey. I haven't had a chance to.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. It's okay. Thank you.
Is everything all right? How is he now?
Bad. Shitty.
I was worried about him.
It's gonna be a little while, but it had really been bad the last 3-4 weeks. And I had kind of been telling him, you need to spend time with her. And he was like, no, I don't. Because, men, you know how men are, right? The kids can be dying. The house could be burning down. They're in total oblivion, because women, see, here's the thing. God made men and he looked at him and he went, shit. I completely screwed up. Knocked him out, grabbed a rib and started over. Okay. The problem is here though, they say God doesn't make mistakes. Well, he kind of did because he didn't destroy the prototype. He left us with it. I don't know what the hell I ever did to have to deal with that shit, but okay, whatever.
Hi, Brandy.
So, it is what it is.
Sorry, I didn't want to be rude there.
It's okay. He, was having a really hard time, and I kept trying to tell him, she's not doing too good. And then the more attention that he paid to her, the worse she did because she thought, oh, okay, good. He's ready for me to go ahead and go. Yeah. So she just went. Good, she was diagnosed last year with cancer. And we elected to, because of her age and her health status from the time that we got her, which she had no back hips whatsoever, pretty much. And we just she was an adoption. And she was from what they tell me, a mix between a Chesapeake Bay Retriever and a Mastiff. And I don't think you could have more hard-headed breeds on the planet. She was the hardest headed of them all. Come on, baby. Come outside. Come on. Come on, little girl. And so, she was on Tramadol. She was on a lot of pain medicine every day, and she was doing just good. Whatever, holding her own. She was still the boss, still running the whole pack. And when he finally would listen to me and kind of pay attention to her when he came home from work, then she was like, oh, okay, well, I can go ahead and go. And I mean, she declined quickly over the past couple of weeks. And I kept telling him, she can't see anymore. He's like, no, just clean her eyes out. She says she'll be fine. That did really work.
Morning, Bay Beauty.
And then finally, I guess, what was it, Friday night? It really dawned on him that she was not good at all, that she was labored breathing. She couldn't see. She hadn't eaten in about 3 days.
Yeah.
And so then we kind of slept, an hour here or there over the next 24 hours. And I got up, came outside, and he was outside with her and kind of had his feet up underneath her muzzle so that she could smell his feet, because that's where the strongest scent, that's why they eat your shoes when they're puppies, because they can smell you. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
And I have lots of shoes. I have a whole entire dining room suit that she basically ate. Yeah, the wood. Yeah. So I probably won't ever have that repaired. I'll just leave it because it's her, And So I came out and he said, I've called the vet. They're open. Can you call and make an appointment? I said, do you want to do this here? Or do you want to take her in? And do you want to do this naturally, or do you want to take her in? And he said, let's just get it over with. Because men, let's just do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I called him. They made an appointment for 11 o'clock that afternoon. We took her in, and they're still not open from COVID. So you basically make your appointment, you show up at the vet, and you sit outside with your pet. But they would let us go in. They said, yeah, oh yeah, for euthanization, we'll let you come in and be with your pet. And I love my vet. I have the best vet ever. And so we waited, and finally she said, where did you go? Because I had moved my SUV around the corner. She said, I thought you were over here by the side door. I said, no. She goes, well, can you kind of move around here to the side door? And I said, sure. And she said, can you come in and let's just do the paperwork so that Mike doesn't have to wait? And I thought, yeah, that's a good move, but that's odd. It's okay. I pulled around, parked. They were in the back seat, kind of cuddling. And I went inside, and my wonderful vet tech, who I love dearly, said, I have never in 27 years ever had to ask this of anyone. And I said, oh God, what? And she said, we don't have any room in our freezer.
Oh.
And yeah. And I said, okay, so what do you need me to do? She said, well, when we can do this here, or you can take her over there and do it. I said, no, I can't. I don't know those people. You guys are my people. I need you to support me because I have to support him, and I need somebody, with me. And she said, no, we'll do it here, but can you drive her across town to the crematorium when we're done?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I said, so you need me to go outside and ask my husband if it's okay if we do this? And she said, yeah. I said, okay.
Fuck.
So I went outside and I told him, I said, we got a little problem, a little glitch. And I told him, and of course he just lost it. He just broke down. And I said, well, hold on, wait, think about this, hold on. I said, most people bring their pet in, they put them down, and then they have to leave them there. We get to take her that last little leg of the journey. It's kind of like when you have a funeral, you do the funeral and then you go to the gravesite and then you leave them at the gravesite. That's where they're going to be, right?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah. And I said, so let's just do this because that gives us extra time with her. She'll be gone, but she'll be with us in this car and we can take her over there and they'll take her from here. And so he said, okay, so that's what we did. It was kind of a little bit of extra horrible, but
hug you.
So by the time, I had been up pretty much 24 hours and he had been, and we had cried, and I'd cried so much that my face was swollen and my head was killing me. And I got home and there was Carla. And we talked and we cried and we talked and cried. And so then took a little nap and got up and there was Carla. And so by that time, you know how it is when you lose somebody. It's like,
start thinking about the goofy stuff.
Like Truth Seeker knows, it comes in waves, the pain comes in waves, but there's a part of that wave where you're up on a high a little bit and you can remember funny stories and you can laugh at things. And I think it's just awesome that it was so entertaining that people thought that we were laughing about us putting down a dog that we've loved for 10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even about that. It was trying to cheer her up and trying to let her forget. And we did. We laughed. And then cried. We cried
and then
that day. And
then we laughed a whole bunch more.
Stories about our dogs and the goofy stuff our dogs have done. Like everybody's got a dog that's done goofy stuff.
And we talked about people we lost that had died in our families. And we laughed some more. And, it's just, that's what your friends do for you. So, anybody out there in YouTube land that has a problem with that, yeah. I'm so glad you're not human and we are. So there you go.
Even when my dad passed away, of course we were sad and stuff, but we would tell goofy stories about things that he had done to irritate my mother. And even my mother was laughing. And we had a whole night that we were, because the pastor wanted stories about my dad, you know what I mean? Then you start thinking, because so he could tell people a little bit about him. So, we laughed, we cried, and, how it went that night.
My mother, during the funeral for my dad, okay, because everybody there knew. We told them, don't send flowers, donate to cancer, research or whatever. So, of course, the flowers, you couldn't even move in the funeral home for all the flowers because nobody listens, right? When you ask them to do shit, they send shit. You ask them not.
That's right.
So there was that, but then the little preacher that was doing the funeral was my grandmother's pastor, Pentecostal as the day is long. My dad couldn't pass up a bar. He was not a lawyer, but he could not pass a bar. And I mean the kind you drink at, a pub, whatever. Loved to drink, loved to smoke, loved to, he just was a life-loving individual. And here's this little Pentecostal preacher where you can't dance, you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't have impure thoughts of any kind, but they were like best friends. They were best friends. And he was doing the eulogy and the funeral or whatever. And I kind of started to cry. I was 17 years old. Here's my world is gone, right? And I'm starting to cry. My mom reaches over and pinches the shit out of the inside of my leg. She goes, "Don't you cry. Don't you dare cry." And I'm like looking at her like, "You're the cruelest woman on the planet right now, right here, right now. I hate you." She goes, "If you cry, he will start crying and we will never get out of here. We'll never get this man buried." I thought, oh, she kind of has a point, So you laugh, you find the humor, the humanness, you reach for something that makes you want to take another breath. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
because
whatever.
It's always, you go, and it's true. You go from crying to laughing to thinking about funny things like, I don't know. That's how it was at my dad's funeral, because it was the first person in my family I had ever lost. So it was like such a shock because there was no warning. He had one of those sudden death heart attacks. There was no warning. It was just one day he was there, the next day he was gone.
Yep.
And we buried him on his birthday.
Awesome.
So that
was
like, yeah. I was like, he died the 27th of December, and he was buried on the 1st. He was a New Year's baby. So,
every fucking Christmas sucks. How bad, huh?
Every Christmas, New Year's,
God.
I think about my dad because that was his birthday. That's when we buried him because he was a New Year's baby. So it was weird.
Might as well might as well just put it all in one celebration, right? No, don't scatter it out across the year. We buried my dad. I was raised in Nashville, and I was in high school in Nashville, and it was my senior year. He died in Texas, and we buried him in Texas, his hometown, where we were all originally from. And here I am on the day of my senior prom, burying my dad. If you don't think I was the most pissed off 17-year-old on the planet, he planned that because he knew what my boyfriend and I had in store for me. So yeah, I know he planned that shit. And I was like, he would do anything to keep me from going out that night. Anything, including die.
Dearly beloved.
Oh my God.
That story was so funny.
The most tragic thing, is a child that dies, when you have a kid that dies.
Oh, it is.
And one of my husband's little nieces, cousins, his cousin's daughter, she wrecked, and they had like 12 kids, and they had a set of twins, and the little girl of the twins died. There was a boy and a girl. And the little girl died, and she looked almost exactly like my daughter. And I thought, wow. Jesus, how am I going to get through this funeral? This is just horrible. And so my really good friend and I were sitting there in the little funeral home thing, and the priest gets up there. Oh, God. And he says, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today." And I'm like, oh, no, I can't. I'm going to laugh the whole way through this funeral. This is horrible. I can't not laugh. I mean, this is funny, and I couldn't look at her. She couldn't look at me. By the time we got to the car, oh my God, we just sat there for a good, 5 minutes and just belly laughed, like, what in the hell was that? I guess the only way you get through a funeral, you have Elmer Fudd as the priest.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's how you do that. So yeah, there's laughter and tragedy. I don't care who you are. And you know what? If you don't have laughter through tragedy, I don't really think you're human. Or else, you know what? I think you're one of these people that love tragedy and you just look for opportunities to go around. Oh, woe is me. Oh, everybody feels sorry
Well,
for me.
you
Boy.
have to remember that's what keeps you going is the memories that you have of that person, whether they're funny or, of course you miss them. Of course we missed our dad.
Right.
When we were telling stories to the pastor about because he wanted stories, he wanted to get to know our dad. So when we were telling stories like how he irritated my mom would be cooking in the kitchen and he'd be throwing stuff, she'd be making soup and he'd be throwing stuff we would laugh. Or how he would attempt to cook and make something and we would pretend to like it. You know what I mean? Like we found humor, we cried, we laughed. I mean, it was just that. And it's the same with, our fur babies. So there's that. I know what it was like to lose, Katie. That was horrible. That was, horrible, but I couldn't even get rid of her bed for months. It was in my living room for months. Oh, Mr. Murder, Mr. Murder,
Mr. Murder.
Mr. Murder just dropped off.
Misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor just dropped off. So yeah, it's my daughter's birthday today. So
happy birthday to her.
Yes, that's why it says happy birthday, Sean, underneath.
It's my birthday next week.
Is it? What?
Yeah.
What?
9th on next Tuesday.
Well, can you sing happy birthday to my daughter? I'll send that to her.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Insert name here. Sorry,
Shauna.
Sean. Happy birthday to you.
Insert name here. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it's rolling across the screen actually.
So I didn't see that at the
bottom. Remy says my best friend died at 12. It was horrible, a long time ago. Yeah, it would be. I think we've all, pretty much lost someone. So we know what it's like. That it goes in waves. There's grief that everybody grieves differently. I was trying to cheer up my good friend yesterday, and so I was not laughing at a dead dog.
No, she was helping me cope. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, Carla.
And we have been talking about Ginger. Like I ask her about Ginger almost every day because
how's Jen?
Yeah.
She's dying, Carla. Thank you, smart ass.
To the point where you were shooting gunk out of her eyes, and I was like, "Ooh,
oh God, it was bad."
I need an eyeball liquor, and I'm like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, the eyeball liquors. Yeah. Yummy. Nom, nom, nom.
Yes, Charlie girl, laughter is healing. Hello.
It is.
If I said hi to you, I hope I said hi to you. Laughter through tears. They always say that, laughter through tears, and it does.
The best movie on the planet. I don't care who you are. If you're a female, okay, I'll put it that way. If you're a female, the very best movie ever is Steel Magnolias.
Oh my God, that was the funeral scene.
The funeral scene taught me more about life than anything I've ever experienced because I caught myself crying, just sobbing. And then all of a sudden she's like, take a whack at Weezer. I'm like busting out laughing. I'm like, oh God, was that okay to do that? I was like, hell yeah, it's okay to do that.
The mood was so heavy in that movie. I was bawling too. I was like, I just want to hit someone. I just want to hit someone until he hurt as bad as me. And then she goes, her friend, she goes, hit her as hard as you
take half the chicken in Parish would pay to take a whack at Weezer. I'm like, oh, I would too.
Morning, Mama Three Girls. Morning, Brandy. I think I said good morning to you. Yeah, that wasn't. I might watch that today, actually.
I know that would be a good day. Today would be
Yeah,
a good
it
day
would
to
be.
watch that.
Yeah, it would be a good day to watch it. She was pretty funny. Shirley MacLaine was funny in that movie. She was such a
You
bit.
know, that was such a good cast. That whole cast was
Oh
just
God, it went. They tried to
perfect.
remake that movie. You can't remake that movie. I think they
No,
tried to remake it.
no,
And
they need to
but I
leave it
remember the
alone.
line in that movie where she said someone asked her why she was on. She goes, I can't remember what it was, but her answer was, "I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years."
But the takeaway I think was, I would take 30 minutes of something wonderful than a lifetime of nothing special. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and
That's such a good analogy. Like
yeah.
such a good thing to live by. So that was a great movie. I don't know how
And
many times I watched it. I watched it a bunch of times.
oh, I watch it at least I think once a year probably. It's
Yeah.
like a southern thing down here. We have
Um,
to.
Shirley MacLaine, another movie she was really good in was Terms of Endearment.
Why are there
Oh,
socks in my freaking yard?
One
Oh,
of my dogs does that.
dear God.
Harry
well,
does
they
that.
go
He
on your
takes the
feet.
socks. And
They
My
go
underwear.
neighbor,
on your feet.
my neighbors are like, these people that live next door are fucking hillbillies. I swear to God.
Oh,
I know they
really?
are. I'm sure they are. They're like looking in the backyard going, really? Can you not do your laundry on the ground? I have dogs. These are all
Yeah,
new socks, brand new socks. Yeah,
Yep.
they go on your feet. So,
sure are.
yeah.
Sure are. And we were going through the closet last night because my husband I had a pair of really, really nice Birkenstocks for work,
Hmm.
and I'd gotten them and I was so proud of them, so excited. Then we got Ginger. And she was the first dog, right? And she ate them. But for whatever reason, I kept them, And so he went to Sam's yesterday and he wore those shoes. Because my husband steals my shoes because we wear the same size shoe. And for whatever reason, I don't know. He just did. So he thinks it's funny to steal. Like I had these wonderful pink rubber boots, camo. They're camo and pink. And so, yeah, he thinks it's cute to steal them and wear them to work. My pink boots.
My husband has the same size feet as his daughter. His daughter has the same size feet as him. It's so funny.
We're all a bunch of weirdos.
He's got small feet, like for a man. He's got like I think it's a 9 or an 8.5, something like that. He's got small feet for a man,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but that's
So
okay.
yeah, my
Okay,
weird
I
ass
like him.
husband.
I
He
like the skinny
I
ass
had
though.
some really cute. They weren't Doc Martens. They were much cheaper. But I had some really cute little combat boots that I would wear with like jeans and a really oversized sweater in the wintertime when we had wintertime when we lived up there. But so he ruined his boots, work boots or whatever. He was wearing tennis shoes to work. Oh, whatever. And so he walks outside one day and he goes, "Where'd you get these?" I said, "Mike, I've had those for like 20 years. Are you kidding me?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't know you had them." I'm like, "What is your point? Are you wanting to steal my boots?" He's like, "Well, I kind of need them for work." He can go through a pair of shoes in like 20 minutes. They bust out the sides. I don't know what he
Really?
does. He doesn't have he's got narrow feet. They're normal size. They're not, you know, they're normal feet, but he can tear up a pair of shoes or boots or whatever in a New York second. So he wears them for
Is it the way
like,
he walks or something? I don't know. What
I've
else could
tried
it
to
be?
watch. I don't know. I've tried to watch him and I can't figure it out.
Is
I'm
he
like,
like
why? You
caveman
destroyed
or something?
shoes. He's a
Yeah.
caveman, I think. Maybe he's a caveman.
My husband's the opposite. He can have a pair of shoes for 5 years.
Yes, I can have them. I have shoes that I wore in high school, you know,
Yeah, I
that
don't
was
go
a
through shoes
long,
either.
long, long time ago.
I had a pair of sneakers for 10 years that I never, of course, I don't
Yeah,
jog or anything. So,
yeah, yeah. So he stole my boots, those boots, like, you know, lace up boots, work kind of boots, but they're not steel toes or anything. But they looked like work boots for a dude or whatever. I just thought they were cute. So okay, yeah, he wears them. I think they lasted maybe 2 weeks. And then he comes home with electrical tape wrapped around the top and the toe of them, like
Right.
around the bottom and across the top. I'm like, that is just sexy. Let me tell
Hey,
you.
Smokey. How are
So,
you?
Talking of sexy.
oh yeah. Speaking of sexy,
Yep.
and
Smokey.
there's Smokey.
Smokey P.
So he did that. So then he went and found himself another pair of boots, and after he ruined mine, and yeah, he's good for that. He tears up more
Does he
stuff.
work like is he like in construction or something? Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, yeah, my son
Even
used to do
still, though, there's guys in construction that have their boots for
boots for
like
a wife. Yeah,
ever.
my son does.
Not my husband. No, he will tear them up.
Just hard
So
on shoes.
he comes home with a new pair of, oh, then he tells me, he brought these new boots home that he found, and got them really, 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 really cheap. They're like $150 boots he got for like $10, and they're in perfect condition, right? They fit, they're great. He brings them home. He goes, and I said, well, are those like your army boots? He goes, oh no, I've got those in the closet. I said, stop. You took my boots and ruined I'm wearing yours. I'm digging them out of the closet. I'm going to
Smokey's
polish them up.
Smokey's
Huh?
working and lurking. Smokey's working and lurking. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Is he? He's
He's
lurking.
working and lurking. We like those
Shake
lurkers.
and bake.
Sometimes.
Shake and bake. I'm just
Shake and bake.
gonna get some food.
Okay.
We shake and bake and I help.
So yeah, he's torn up my boots. But yeah, he wore those little shoes that she had chewed up. So then I said, well, look, there's some heels up there. And he found my good work heels. And they had been chewed up by Ginger. So he goes, well, we're not throwing any of these away. And I said, no, of course not, because they have Ginger's signature on them.
So
That in my dining room.
But do the other dogs like chew up your shoes too?
Nope.
They just go for
Ginger.
the socks.
Now, Bessie loves his shoes. And he'll give her one shoe, like when he ruins a pair, it's often, and he'll give her a shoe and he'll tell her, where's your shoe? She runs outside, she finds it, she'll like look around, she finds it, and then she runs over to it, and then she pounces on it. Like she's killing it or something. I'm like, what are you doing? Weirdo. Yeah, she's kind of at a loss. She was looking for her this morning. She went over.
That's almost sadder, like when they grieve.
Yeah.
Because they can't say, they can't say we miss her.
Yeah.
They can just like look for them, and that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen videos where like owners have lost their, owners have died and their pets have left behind, and I've seen videos where they're on the grave howling.
Mm-hmm. I've seen horses grieve for owners. I've seen horses grieve.
Really?
They're like big dogs. They're like ginormous dogs with really, really heavy feet. When they step on your feet, it really hurts a lot.
You ever had a horse step on your feet?
Yeah. You haven't lived until that happens. You're just like, yeah, okay.
Mom of 3 girls. I'm working and listening as well. I'm adulting. Adulting is no fun. Why can't we just quit? Oh, the bills don't pay themselves is why. Great.
I know, right? That sucks. Yeah, Logan decided that he was like having a grief spurt last night, I guess. Because he's the second dog. So that Ginger was like his mama. But he's like 130 pounds of nothing but hair. And he's really heavy, really heavy. So he decided to get up in the bed. Yeah, get in the bed last night and get on my lap. Yeah, that was rough. And then Dixie's the third dog, and she loved, those two, they're my older set. And so she was kind of just by herself last night, just kind of off to herself. And I'd have to go find her and kind of love on her a little bit. And she eventually got up on the bed and was loving on Daddy for a little bit. And then she got down. She was okay. But
how was your husband last night? Like, how was he doing?
Not really good. Not really good. And just real quiet.
God.
You just kind of have to give him the space,
Yeah.
He'd like get up.
I mean, here's the thing. You're going to miss her because I miss Katie I still miss her. I still miss her. It's been years and I still miss her. I haven't gotten rid of any of her stuff. It's still downstairs. And I just before this coronavirus, I was ready to get another one. Like before, I felt like, oh no, I can't get one because I'm going to feel like I'm replacing her.
Was Katie more your husband's or yours, or just kind of both?
Mine, definitely
Yours.
mine. Yeah. So it took me a long time. That's why, like, you didn't want. I couldn't even see a picture of a dog that looked like her because there was a lot of dogs that looked like her. But she kind of looked like a black, kind of like a black lab. But she was a mix. She was kind of medium sized. So I couldn't. Well, towards the end, she had like gray hair, but I can't even. I couldn't even look at dogs that looked similar to her. I had pictures of her. I couldn't look at the pictures of her. I have a picture where she was in her bed, and my stepdaughter came to visit with her dogs. And I have a picture of her where they tried to climb in bed with her, and she's like,
yeah, I'm trying to clean out.
And you know how they show their teeth?
Yeah, she did that to me. I was cleaning her eyes out the other day, you know, trying to get all that gunk out of her eyes. And she's like growling at me and lifting that lip. And I'm like, really? Really? You can't even see me. Stop.
Yeah, she did not like sharing her bed. Like they would try to climb into bed with her, and no, it wasn't happening. She was like not letting that happen. So one day I had my cell phone, and I just caught her at the great time. Well, I looked, you know, the time where she was lifting her lip and she was showing her teeth. She looked so mean in that picture. Oh, where did she go? Damn it, Mr. Mr. Murder. I keep calling you Mr. Murder. Are you still here? You're so quiet. Did she fall asleep? Getting ready for work, but I don't want to be adult today.
I need to figure out which button I can and cannot. I feel like Tracy.
Did you
I just hit buttons.
Look, remember that day that I got knocked off the internet and you and Mr. Murder were holding me? I don't even know if she's still here. She hasn't talked at all.
She's fixing something to eat, I think.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She's chowing.
She did say that. She's gonna mukbang.
We did go through pictures last night. We looked at a lot of pictures, and he put a lot of stuff on Facebook. And he said, "Well, if any of your friends, well, he told you, he goes, tell Carla if she wants to see any pictures of Ginger, she's going to have to go through me because you don't share." Screw you,
well, I'm going to friend him on Facebook if he friends me back. He knows my name on Facebook. Just give him my name.
I will. I'll do it.
I'm back. What did I miss?
Hey, well, we did. He did last night. Finally, before he went to sleep last night. He showed me a picture of a baby Chesapeake Bay retriever that was hugging its first little toy duck. And I said, yeah, I wondered how long it would take. And he goes, no, we're not getting any new dogs for it. And I said, but no, but it will be a Chessie, I'm sure, because the breed is just it. You know, they're just amazing. That's what you need to look for, Carla.
That was his, you know, his baby.
That was his wife. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you cannot replace, you know.
I was the side chick.
Oh, you were the side chick. Here's the things that made me laugh about her. I'm not his wife. Ginger is his wife. I'm just, I just work for them.
Everybody at the vet knew that. They're like, oh, is it your dog? And I'm like, then Rhonda, the girl that, not our Rhonda, but the girl at the vet who I love dearly, she's like, oh, no, that's not her dog. That's her husband's wife. She's the side chick. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I just bring her to the doctor, you know, because he couldn't take her to the doctor. It would kill him. You know, if they had to give her a shot or anything, he's like, oh, yeah, it was tragic.
And I don't even know. I got to think, I got to think of what kind of dog I want to. Like, I don't know.
A Chessie. A Chessie.
Yeah, maybe. Or pit. Chessie. Well, I don't. You're not allowed to have pit bulls where we are. Like you're not allowed. God. They have like some kind of zoning thing.
Yeah.
Because we're near a school, and I think you're not allowed to have a pit bull so many feet near a school.
Pits are the best dog, other than Chessies, in my opinion. Because I have one of those. Like everybody has an asshole. They have an opinion. Chessies and pits are amazing dogs. And I'm sure there are others out there that are just as amazing. But in our household, those have been just the funniest. Pits are complete clowns. They're just idiots.
I think they get a bad name because they have the ones that get a bad name have bad owners, you know.
Right.
Like,
because assholes have taken them and made them so mean that they fight, you know.
Yeah, a dog is as good as its owner.
But even the ones that like Mike Vick had, and I wish Mike Vick the most horrific death, and I hope he spends eternity in hell.
Oh, isn't he
I
the
really
one
do.
that
Yeah, the football
shot?
player that fought
Did
them.
he?
Yeah.
He shot them or something? Yeah.
No, he fought them.
Oh, he
fought
was
them
fighting
until
them. But wasn't he, didn't he, when they were injured, didn't he take them out and shoot them?
if
Like,
he even was that humane, I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, he's just a dick.
I know
And,
that he got a bit of jail time for that, but I don't think he got enough.
But he didn't. And then the NFL took him back. But you know, even those dogs that he treated so horrifically, I think there were only like a handful of them, maybe 4 or 5, that could not be rehomed. The rest of them were so grateful to have good owners that they've never had a problem out of them.
Well, there's a show on the Animal Planet called Parolees and Pit. I think Parolees and
Yes,
Pit
Parolees
Bulls.
and Pit Bulls.
Pit Bulls
My
and
little
Parolees.
Toby's here. Little Toto man. The Shih Tzu's here. Yay! Toby and my sister. Good morning, Steph. Good morning. Come here, Toe. Hello, Toe. He's like, screw you. Where's my buddies? Yeah.
Mondays are never any fun to begin with. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Hey, Jade. A pit recently killed a 9-year-old little boy. I never heard about that. But I know that where Parolees and Pits, they were great to those dogs. I think we had what kind of dog was it here in Pittsburgh? It wasn't a pit bull. It was a different kind. I think it was either a German Shepherd or a different kind of pet. It wasn't a pit bull, but they killed like a 3-year-old. It killed a 3-year-old girl. So, and we also had a woman that crossbred wolves. You know, she bred wolves and she got killed by those. So, I guess it just depends on, you know.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to my sister because I love her more.
Oh,
Hold
that's
on.
okay. That's okay. We lost Miss Murder. Hey, Top Cop. How you doing? Anybody have by the way, happy birthday, Shauna. That's my daughter. It's her birthday today. Oh my God, that's terrible. What? Yeah, I heard that. I didn't hear that. I mean, I didn't hear about that, but that's, yeah, hard to breed the wild out of wolves. I think I'm not sure, but I think they were hybrids or something. I don't know. But she went in to feed them one day and they found her dead the next morning, and I think they just tore her apart. My little brother had a huge 2-year-old German Shepherd. He was wild. Unfortunately, he had to give him up. Well, I had to. Thank gosh, I knew the cops in the town. Dog is now a canine officer. Oh, well, that's good. Mama Three Girls says, hey, lady, did you see my message earlier this week, sweetie? Thank you, Top Cop. Yeah, it's her birthday. I talked to her yesterday because she's worried about like all the riots we're having here. Like there was cop cars overturned. They're just having all over town. We don't live in an African American section of town, but close. We're close. We're like a couple miles away, and that's where I usually do my produce shopping. It's down there, and my husband doesn't want me going down there. You know, there's so much unrest right now. I don't know if any of you all are having it where you are, but we are having, you know, we're having a bad we're having it, we're getting it bad. Mostly downtown Pittsburgh. I'm on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, so we're not getting it too bad where we are. Hi, Kathy. How are you, honey? You need to talk to me? Okay. You want to talk to me right now? Are you talking to me or someone else? You're welcome to talk to me. Oh my God, those riots. There's a channel called Reg Incognito who is in Minneapolis filming it all. A man was jumped in a riot? Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, they need
Scary
to
out there.
they need to get these cops and do something with them. And I mean all four of them, not just the one, all four of them.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because as far as I'm concerned, those other three.
Well, they know that if they don't charge them properly, there's going to be, this isn't over.
No.
It won't be over. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Well, and the sad fact is there are a lot of people out there that are hurting that are demonstrating responsibly. The rest of those sons of bitches are all fringe groups that just want to bring anarchy to a really pretty decent country as far as countries go, I think. I'm kind of prejudiced because I live here, but I think we're a pretty good nation. And they're just wanting to absolutely destroy the country. I think that the Attorney General and the President have done the absolute right thing by declaring them terrorist groups, because that's exactly what they freaking are. They're terrorists. And
they're taking this and using it to loot and hurt people. And Remy just said somebody was killed in the rioting, dumped and killed. So what is that solving? I guess another death.
You know what? And it does not bring any comfort to the families. And it's not just this man. I don't know that we're paying more attention to it, and I still don't think that I think there's a lot of these same incidences that go across this country on a daily basis that nobody knows about. That there's no light shed on it. But recently there have been quite a few very pronounced instances with cops and people of color, our Black citizens in this country. What if that man on that ground would have been a white man? That cop would have never had his knee on his neck. You can't convince me that that's true.
Definitely. I mean, it's just you know.
You just can't. You can't convince me of it.
You can't get away from it. I mean, I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Come on.
No, it's true. It's true.
And it's always happening to them. Like, you can't get away from it.
And it's not okay. And we need to fix it. And we need to fix it correctly and in a way that brings healing and changes the way that we think about each other in this country. And we need to do it pretty quickly. It's been long enough. Jesus God, they've been talking about this for centuries, and yet nothing's been done. We've kind of half-assed it, and it's not okay. And
it's nothing new. It's just been caught on video. Well, we've seen different things caught on video.
Yeah.
And it needs to be dealt with, and severely.
Yeah.
These people, I mean, these cops who are sworn to protect and serve, did not do their sworn duty. So,
Yep. So, it's not okay. It's not ever going to be okay. They need to fix it. And to have, who's calling us?
Emma, hang on. It's my husband.
Hey, husband. We don't get to hear. What dogs? Mommy of 3? Which ones? Chihuahuas. Oh my God, ankle biters. You're not kidding. I do love my big dogs. Golden retrievers. See, when we got Ginger, the one that we had to put down, I thought they said retriever. And I went, oh, they're such sweet dogs. Yeah, okay, except she wasn't a golden retriever. She was a Chesapeake Bay retriever. They are a whole different attitude of retriever. The saying goes that a golden retriever, you can tell them what to do. A Labrador retriever, you ask them to do something. But a Chesapeake Bay retriever, you have to negotiate because otherwise they're just not going to do it. And it's very true. They do have a very big attitude. They're totally different. Yep. Yep. Yeah, a few cops can ruin it for all of them because there's some really awesome cops out there that are not what you saw over the past week. Those aren't cops. I don't know what those are. They're horrible human beings. Horrible. And then then you have their superiors who are supposed to be the people that you look up to as far as law enforcement is concerned, and they condone what these 4 cops did by saying, oh, well, but he had alcohol and drugs in his system. I don't care if he did. I really don't. Oh, and he was forging a check or had funny money or whatever it was. It doesn't matter. You have a right in this country to be treated humanely, even if you're a criminal. And at what point was that man not completely subdued? I mean, everybody saw it. He was handcuffed behind his back. He was on his belly. There was no need for them to do what they did.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Does he miss us? He misses us.
Oh, no, it wasn't him. It was actually my doctor. His schedule changed, so they rescheduled me for next week. So
okay,
whatever. Yeah. But he's just doing like video appointments now. So it's so weird. It's so weird to me. Okay, so what did I miss?
You're right, Remy. There's a huge difference between protesters and rioters. And there was a really neat I saw last night for just briefly. They were, I think, looking at LA, maybe it was. No, it was New York. It was in New York. And there was one woman, and she was in like a green scrub outfit. So she looked medical. And she kept trying to push the crowds back off of the cops. They had actually set fire to one of the NYPD cruisers. And she was trying to talk to the people and get them back. And finally, the reporter there, grabbed her and started to interview her. And she said, listen, we have a right to protest. We have a right to say we have a problem with all of this. But we don't have a right to hurt property or other people. We need to do this the way it needs to be done. And she said, and don't give these cops a reason to beat any more of us or kill any more of us. Exactly.
And I saw where this woman was I think she was in a wheelchair this morning, where she hugged this police officer because it was a peaceful protest, and she thanked him for them, being peaceful and handling it peacefully. But they're not doing it peacefully here in Pittsburgh. They're overturning cop cars. They're catching things on fire. It's just crazy. You don't even want to go anywhere.
Right.
Like, it's not enough we are dealing with this freaking virus, the whole virus. Now we're dealing with this crap. It's all.
Yeah, and these shop owners have been closed for what, 3 months?
I know.
They just get their shops open, and these jackassian Neanderthals go in there and burn it down and loot them. And what the hell? And you're tearing up your own community. What in the hell are you doing?
Babe Beauty said she rescued a husky mix.
I was about to read that.
Oh, she's wonderful. That's wonderful. You know what? I think the ones that you rescue are like the best ones ever.
I do
Tatum. I love you, girl.
I absolutely agree, because all of mine except for one is rescued, and that's the pit. The pit I bought from a friend of mine who just wanted to breed her female pit, and she found a really pretty boy, and she had all these puppies, and then she didn't want to sell any of them. I'm like, so you're going to just raise these 9 puppies. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you got a farm, but that's a lot of food you're going to be buying. Well, I can't get rid of them. I'm like, I get the first one. And I said, let me see pictures. And I picked out Bessie. And then when she was old enough to get, we went and got her. And my husband was so excited he had his pit bull, except it's not his.
I think rescue pets are actually the ones that are more grateful for having a forever home. I
Yeah,
don't
the
know why,
rescues.
because we rescued Katie. I think she was 2 years old when we rescued her. We could have rescued a puppy, but I don't know, something about her. My husband was the one who said there's something about her. He said
Mhm.
there's something. She was so quiet and she was like hunkered down in the corner in the back.
Who, Katie?
Yeah, Katie was, and he said there's
Yeah.
something about her. I think we need to take her home. She's the one. Because there was another Jack Russell that I thought was really funny because it was jumping up and down.
Oh my
I'm so
God, Jack
good.
Russells. God,
Oh, they're crazy. They're
they have so
freaking
much
crazy.
energy.
I know. That's what the lady said. She goes, you better be prepared to really give that dog a lot of attention because they need a lot of attention, and they never stop because she was jumping. I just thought she was so cute because the way she was jumping. My husband saw Katie and he felt so. I think he felt sorry for her because she was just back in her cage in the
Pitiful.
corner, and she
Just
looked
pitiful.
pitiful. And she
Well, we
ended up
went
being my
through,
dog, but he
there's a
did Thanksgiving.
wonderful, no-kill shelter um, in Kansas. I think it's in Missouri, actually. But, and we had found out about it. And so we looked online and they had these 2 really cute little beagles. We were like, oh yeah, let's go get beagles. Get a beagle, they said. It'll be fun, they said. So it was a little boy and a little girl, brother and sister, and we went to go see them. And then we figured out why they were at the shelter because the boy, like the girl was fine, she was cute, but the boy was like hanging from the rafters, and I don't do like rafter hanging animals. I don't. I'm like, you have to calm down. We had Chihuahuas before, and we weren't going to do little dogs anymore. And he wanted a dog. That's all I heard for like a week. We're going to get a dog. Okay, all right, Mike. So we went down there, we looked at the beagles, we decided quickly, no. And then we walked through all this rows and rows and rows of these big, wonderful kennels, all these dogs. Nope, nope, nope. The whole side. Then there was a whole other side of the building. He's like, there's there's no dog here for me. There's not. So Mike, you'll find your dog. You'll know it when you find her. It's just calm down. So I said, well, what about this other side? And the guy said, well, this is like the new ones that have just come in. They haven't had shots. They haven't been, checked for their demeanor, their temperament, whatever. But yeah, you can go look, but they're just not ready to be sold right now or rescued or whatever. Okay. So we went over there and we walked. And when I tell you that some of these dogs had like one eye, 3 legs, I mean, they
Oh,
were pretty rough looking. And some of them did not look very nice. They would like charge at the, gate. I was like, Jesus, do we even want to be over here? We walk through the whole thing. We look at every single dog. I'm not kidding you, the very last row, the very last little section of cages, here's this little fat brown dog puppy. Fat. I thought, great, she's full of worms, she's probably going to die. Great, this is the one he wants, right? So we get her out. She's real playful. She's real sweet. And they said, well, you can put a $50 deposit down on her, but she won't be ready for 2 weeks. We've got to give her shots and spay her. And he's like, no, I'm taking her home today. And I'm like, no, did you not just hear him? He said, no, you can't. He's like, but if I take her and I run out, I said, you are not getting us arrested over a dog. Stop it. So there were like 3 people right behind us that were ready to put down money if we decided not to put down money on her. So we did put our little $50 down, and then we had to wait 2 weeks. He went to every pet store in town buying all kinds of crap for the next 2 weeks. We go and we get a little kennel to bring her home in, right? Just a regular little kennel, thinking she's about this size. We go to pick her up. Oh, no, she's twice that size. I'm like, crap, what did we just get? Because she's going to be mammoth. So we get her home, and she was his dog. When I tell you she liked me, I was okay, but when he was home, that was daddy. Those 2 were inseparable. They went everywhere together. He would get in the Mustang, take the top down, and they would go ride all over the place together. And that was his sidekick, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just started rescuing. We made it a habit of rescuing a dog every year after that. And then the last one, so we had the 4. We had gotten the pit from the friend, moved down here. And our first Christmas here, we just finished, redoing the house from Harvey, rebuilding it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's ready. We're moving in. It's Christmas time. And there's this German Shepherd the day before Christmas out in the street, laying in the middle of the street, little bitty tiny German Shepherd. And she didn't look like she felt good. And I said, she's laying on a seatbelt that somebody had ripped out of a car, and I guess thrown it out of the car for her to chase it, and then drove off and dumped her. So I said, well, go, because you could try to go near her and she would like scamper off a little ways because she, didn't want to be around anybody. I said, go get that seatbelt and just kind of bring it up gradually into the garage. And maybe we can get her into the garage and at least get her out of the weather, get her somewhere where she's safe. And then we'll figure out what to do after Christmas. So that's what we did. And that's how we ended up with her. And she's wonderful now. She's just so happy. It took us about 3 weeks to get her to even come into the house. So I don't know what she had been through before. I took her to the vet. He said she's maybe a year old, if that. And yeah, so
We thought Katie had her vocal cords clipped or something because she would never bark. She wouldn't for I think we had her 3 months before we ever heard a sound come out of her. I don't know
Really?
if she was beaten, like because they don't know she was a stray when they got her. I don't know if she was beaten for bark because she could have been.
Could
It
have
was
been.
like, yeah, and she was, and I think she was afraid. I think that's why she ended up being my dog. It was like she was, if my husband got up like suddenly, she would like hunker down, like it was like she was afraid that he would do something to her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she was beaten for barking, if that's why she wouldn't bark. I don't know. I really don't know. It
Right.
took her a while to, hi, Diana. I think I think in my mind that she was beaten and it was by
Probably.
a man because whenever he would get up suddenly, she would just crouch down like she was afraid something would happen. And it took her a while, like to really trust him.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if he raised his voice a little bit, she would, her ears would go back and stuff. And I think that's why she was more my dog than his because, because you don't have a history. You don't know,
You don't
when
know.
they find a stray like that, they don't have a real history on, where she's come from, what she's been through or whatever. So, yeah. But yeah, we thought she had, I said, this dog cannot bark. She doesn't bark. Even when someone would knock on the door, she wouldn't bark. Dogs are naturally will bark. She wouldn't.
Stevie, did you take a sock outside? Stevie, she's my sock bandit. Quit it with the socks. Your dad has to have, it's bad enough he doesn't have shoes. Can you at least let him have socks? Golly.
Captain Obvious says, my Daisy never barked for weeks after we got her from the shelter. She'd lay flat and pee on the floor. If a man with a hat came in 8 years later, she wants to bite the guy.
Oh. See, my aunt and uncle had a dog that they named Ripley because he was so ugly you couldn't hardly believe it, right? Believe it or not. And they actually did. They had him debarked. They had his vocal cords removed because I'm not. Well, he was pretty much an outside dog, and he was a really good dog, but he barked incessantly from morning until night. He would not, and it was not. He wasn't barking so much at anything. He was just barking, and it was like, oh my God, can you not bark? How did I end up with more dishes in the
sink? That's what I thought was Katie's problem. I thought she couldn't bark. I thought she couldn't bark.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think she was, I really think she was beaten because of the way she reacted to my husband's sudden movement. And it took a while for her to even trust him. And still, like years later, because we had her for 10 years, you know, if he would get up suddenly, she would crouch on the floor, like she was afraid something was going to happen. So,
Isn't that
they get
sad?
traumatized too. Dogs get traumatized.
Oh God,
I don't
yeah.
care what anyone says. And they remember, you know, but at the same time, like, I think she was grateful to have a home. And I think that's why my husband, when he saw her hunkering back in that cage in the animal friends, he said that she's the one. And just
Yeah.
something about her, yeah, you know, tug at his heartstrings. And
Yeah.
he even felt bad when she would, he'd get up real quick and she would hunker down. He'd say that dog was beaten or something happened in her past. And they can't tell you her history.
No, they can't.
Yeah. And they can't tell her. They found her like she was a stray and they found her, on the street somewhere. I don't know where they found her, but they couldn't give us a history where she came from, nothing. But everybody
Horses
loves
and
her.
dogs. Horses and dogs. And you know what? Horses are just ginormous dogs. That's all they are. I'm feeding these, so I'm going to mute. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what misdemeanor says. Horses are ginormous dogs. And I'm afraid of horses because they have those big teeth. I'm really afraid of them. Did you know she is the sister to the cop that was standing guard? Her lawyer told her to divorce or they'd lose everything. I am reading your comments about these police officers, and I agree with Mama Three Girls. I think they should get no less than first-degree murder. I think what happened was, yeah. And here's the thing, guys. I haven't even been able to watch it because my husband told me not to watch it, and my friends have told me not to watch it because it's that bad.
Yeah.
So I haven't even watched the footage of what happened to this guy.
No, you don't need to.
And you told me not to watch it. My husband said, don't watch it. It's horrible. It's horrible what they did to him. And he's usually pretty neutral about things. He says, them fucking guys should get murder.
Yeah.
Murder one, no less than murder one, because.
Well, and the fact is that they took his pulse. They took his pulse and he had no pulse. And that man continued to keep his knee on his neck. Okay, turn your neck. Okay, you have a carotid artery.
Yeah.
That goes right down the side. So Michael said, well, they did the autopsy. Did you see that? And I said, no. What did it say? Well, that he had drugs in his system and alcohol and he had heart disease. I said, okay, well, here's the thing. If he had heart disease and they're on his carotid artery, they killed him. Period. End of story.
They did kill him, and it was murder. And I don't care if they're police officers or not. They are paid to protect and serve. That was not protecting. Hi, Nanya. Good morning. Good morning. They had no right to take his life. It is no less than murder. All of them. The one that did it and the ones that stood by and let it happen. Hi, Ems. I think she's muted. Good morning. Good morning.
Who, me? I am.
Yeah. Are you muted?
Because I'm making a lot of noise.
my noisiest panel guest. We're just talking about Am's misdemeanor put her dog down this
weekend.
Yeah. So we were talking about that. And no, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy about her dog being put down. I was just
Neither was I.
No.
But my friend did make me laugh a lot.
Yeah, we did laugh. That 1 minute video. That was like, yeah. I'm spending my day on the phone with a bottle of wine, getting your channel removed. Oh, okay.
You're doing what?
Per says, I'm spending my day on the phone with a bottle of wine, getting your channel removed.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Good. You do that. Anything we can do to help?
Yeah. Huh? You want me to help you? It was nice to get out and enjoy the family, just relax and enjoy each other, just be out after 2 months of being confined. Here's the thing, next weekend, we are in the green zone. So my husband said to me, yeah, and my husband said to me, you pick whatever you want to do next weekend, and that is what we are going to do. So I don't know. I have to figure out, because I think I don't even really know what it means to be in the green zone. I'm gonna have to Google it and see.
Does that mean you have a lot of money?
Yeah, before I like figure out, hey Ash, I don't even want to speak on it. My feelings are all mixed up on it for different reasons. And I'm not a fan of cops, but I don't like go calling for the heads until I see everything. I understand that. Everybody has their own opinion about it. Like everybody has a valid, opinion, I guess.
Well, what I have seen
and I
was
haven't
the original footage of the cop with his knee on this man's neck. I have been married to law enforcement, have a lot of family that's law enforcement and military, and I can tell you right now, because my ex-husband taught defensive tactics in the academy, and I can tell you right now that that is not a move, that is not a hold that is taught by any law enforcement agency I have ever heard of, for one thing. Another thing, I did watch all of that through its fruition. I also saw what they chose to release of the body cam footage. I noticed that there was quite a significant amount of that cut out. I can't imagine why they would want to do that, but okay, they chose to do it that way. And having looked at all that and knowing what I know, that's where I'm at.
Hey, Ems, you got a clonish account going around doxing. They got me in figure skating coach last night. The name on the account is M's Coffee Conversations. Do people have nothing better to do?
No, apparently they don't.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a clone account out there. And it's not a good picture. That's what pisses me off.
Oh, let's talk about my picture. Can we talk about my picture? Oh,
sure.
I'm a catfish. Okay, first of all, I'm married. Okay. Second of all, I'm not out here to fool anybody. Okay, not to fool anybody. Anybody who wants to be my friend on Facebook is more than welcome to. So y'all can see all of my fat, skinny, pretty, ugly pictures.
Wanda,
I'm sure everybody has those.
Wanda's in here. I just want her to know that we said nothing bad about her. We actually, did I not say she was awesome?
Yes.
I don't know what conversation was spliced together, but honestly, it's taken out of context. It's taken out of, no, I just wanted you to know I did text you to tell you that we really said nice things about you. So
yes,
trust in that. 2 tacos and a chihuahua. Good morning. Oh, 2 tacos is funny. She's like,
I love 2 tacos.
I do too. She's hilarious. She is hilarious. It won't be hard. I'm going to use your words saying the exact same thing. It's going terms of service.
You need to just go ahead and block that person and get them out of here.
To be blocked. She can, whatever, do what you want, do what you need to do.
I'm sure she can find lots of other friends just like her to go play with.
Exactly.
Here's not the place.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood. I'm not,
Yes, absolutely. Mommy of 3 girls, absolutely. There's a spot between the shoulder blade and the spine that's really, really tender. And that is absolutely the best place to put your knee if you're going to subdue someone, because it's painful. And you're not going to kill them when you do it that way. So, but then you had 3 other cops. Why was this man not put in the back of that unit? Come on. I mean, he is handcuffed. You've got him subdued. There are 4 of you. You know, I mean, seriously, these guys have got to have like children or toddlers at home. If you can't subdue a toddler, maybe you don't need to be a cop. I'm just saying. I'm just going to put that out there. Women
Right.
have to do it all the time. But surely they could have gotten this guy into that vehicle and gotten him to wherever he needed to go. You know, come on. I don't know what happened, but and then here's adding. Okay, so they take the man's pulse. He has no pulse. Okay, remember, protect and serve. Did anyone roll him over and start CPR? No. They stayed on his neck for another 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Really? Okay. So that answered a lot of my questions right there too. So it just makes me really mad. It makes me angry for all of the amazing law enforcement that we have out there, military and law enforcement, National Guard, that do the job that they've sworn to do, that they're out there in our communities teaching our kids that cops are okay, that they're good people to go to. And then you have jackasses like these guys that do what they do. And it makes a lot of other cops look bad, and it should not. It should not. If you have a rational, sane mind and you can separate the two, then you get that those are rogue cops and they're shit. But for a lot of people that don't see things that way, that are scared to death every day to leave their home for fear of being stopped, or jogging down the street without being mowed down by some 3 rednecks. Okay. I've never had to live that life. Okay. I'm not about white privilege. I don't agree with that terminology, but I do understand that I have never had to live like that.
Right.
I don't know what it's like to have to live like that. I can only try to imagine, but it has gone on long enough.
Yeah.
It needs to stop. We need to have a better dialogue.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand the whole, the whole thing. I wish it was different. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
But
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. It is a shame. I don't know. And my mom, I told you about my husband curing my mom's dog's limp by giving her beef broth in her breakfast and giving her little shreds of that rib meat that he cooked. And all of a sudden she stopped limping. I called her.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, "Oh, Mom, Mike fixed Sadie. How did he do that?" She goes, "Oh, that little stinker." She's laying over here on her little bed that I made her. She sleeps next to me on the floor.
I don't know what the lunatic is trying to pull last month. Was it that what do you call it, Tweety Bird thing? No, I guess it wasn't. Someone with your cloned accounts. I don't know what people do after that. Seriously, don't. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm just not even addressing any of that stuff. I'm just not.
Yep.
Except that I can bet you right now, for anybody who's not going to work this morning, your hair is not perfect. Your makeup is probably not on. You're probably in a t-shirt that you've had over 10 years, maybe some sweats.
I like t-shirt, big old t-shirt.
I do too. I'm in sweats and a t-shirt. My hair is in a bun. I have on no makeup. That's about it.
None of us are perfect.
But my husband thinks I'm beautiful.
Exactly. Who cares what anybody else thinks? They can.
And I'm not sleeping with any of you bitches.
Well, I thought catfish meant it was someone that was trying to like get someone to
have a relationship with them and
have a relationship with them by giving them a different picture of themselves, but that they will never meet. Well,
you know what? It's all the same pictures of me. I have really good pictures of me, and then I have some really shitty ones of me.
Oh, you should see some of my pictures. Oh my God.
I just really don't even care. That's the bottom line. I really don't.
Well, when you're married, I've been married 17 years. Okay. My husband seen me in the hospital when I was almost on death's door.
Yep.
And he's taking care of me when I'm sick. You know, he's seen me at my best. He's seen me at my worst. And that's, you know, and he's still married to me. He hasn't.
And you know, here's the thing too, Carla. We have some pretty amazing husbands that get up every day and go to work so that we can stay at home and take care of the household and enjoy cooking for them and, you know, go visit family or whatever it is we want to do. So I think that we're doing something right because I really enjoy my life and I love my husband. So, yep.
Remy says, I have a horrible pic. I'm not photogenic, and I really don't care. You know, the best pictures I take is the pictures that I don't pose for, like when you're caught, like doing something that you don't pose for. That's the only
Picking your
picture
nose.
that I've ever liked of myself.
Oh God. I don't know. I'm just so not, you know, I'm sorry.
I mean, anybody can look, you know, anybody can make themselves good. That you can take 100 pictures of yourself and go through 100 pictures, and one looks good out of that 100 pictures. And that's the one you're going to use, no matter who you are.
I apologize if I hurt anyone's feelings, but I wasn't put on this earth to impress any of you. So there's that. Okay. You know, and I'm sure I'm not impressing you. Oh my.
M says, Jade, I spoke to a family member who told me they never teach officers to put their knee on their neck.
Yeah, they do not.
That was my first question. Hopefully, if some officers are taught that, they stop.
No, they're not. They're not M's. That is not, as far as I know. Let me put it that way. And I've
She said he said it's supposed to be on the shoulders.
Yeah, either on the well, actually more toward the back, on their back. They can do that. There are several pressure points. You could get your thumb and put it behind the ear and press there and have total control over a human being because that shit hurts. But if you're not impeding blood flow, the thing is when you put your knee on someone's neck and they've got their neck turned, you're directly on their carotid artery. You know, just to give you an example, if you have a stethoscope, and a lot of doctors like to put their stethoscopes not around their neck like normal people do, but they'll take the ear parts, you know, and pull them down from their ears and then let it clip behind their back. They've had doctors that have passed out just from the pressure of the stethoscope pressing up against their carotid arteries.
Really?
That's how little pressure it takes to impede blood flow to your head. So then you put somebody's knee with all their body weight on it.
The saddest thing I heard was that he was calling for his mother. Like, that's the saddest. I haven't seen it. Keep in mind, I have not seen it. My husband told me, you told me not to, and everybody that I've talked to said, don't watch it. It's heartbreaking. So
it is heartbreaking. It is absolutely gut-wrenching.
Getting cuffs on the point of restraining someone like that, why not stand him up and put him in the car? There was plenty of backup there. Exactly. I don't know.
Exactly.
I really don't know.
That is the point. You restrain them until you can get them cuffed, and then you've got four cops, count them, 4, that could have maneuvered him into the back of that vehicle, which is caged and it locks so that he cannot maneuver the locks. He could be able to get out of his cuffs, and he would not have been able to get out of the back of that vehicle. So there's not another excuse you could give me for why they did what they did. There's none. They had him cuffed, and then at the point where they realized that he did not have a pulse, not one of those officers.
Was cuffed? He was
yes,
cuffed?
He was cuffed behind his back, on his belly, on the ground. I mean,
my husband watched it and he said, no, you don't want to watch it. You don't want to. It's horrific. One of my lymph nodes was growing right up against my artery in my neck, and even that was concerned. Yeah, I can believe that, Ams.
Yeah. Yep.
He didn't even try to resist.
Once he was on that ground, I don't know what he did before. There was some body cam footage that was released, but spliced up, and I don't know what they cut out.
Well,
But
we know how that can happen.
yeah, right. When you want to show people only what you want them to see. Yeah, right. But yeah, there was him on the neck. And then you saw 2 more officers at his hip and his lower leg, I guess restraining him. I mean, he was cuffed. He was on his belly. He was saying repeatedly, I cannot breathe. And Mike said, yeah, but he was talking. And I said, but Michael, he couldn't finish his sentence. Before he got to the end of his sentence, he was out of breath. I mean, it's one thing when you're trying to tell somebody, I can't breathe, and you can't get that whole sentence out because you don't have enough air. He couldn't breathe. He was having trouble breathing. Okay. So then he goes where he's not communicative. He's not struggling. And so they're begging him. The bystanders are begging them to take his pulse. When they kind of inch forward, the smartass with his knee on the neck goes into his pocket to pull out his mace. You're going to mace the bystanders that are begging you to just take his pulse. So finally someone takes his pulse. He has no pulse. And he remained on his neck for another 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That doesn't seem like a long period of time. Hold your breath for 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Try. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. And on top of all of that, they are trained in CPR. Okay. Not one of those sons of bitches rolled him over and even attempted to resuscitate that man. They kept him down on his belly with his knee on his neck for another 2 minutes and 45 seconds until the paramedics got there. And he had no pulse from that point, that 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So I want somebody to explain that to me because I don't understand it. I don't know how we got to a point where we have people in our society that think that's okay. Because why? Because he passed a phony bill or he had a bad check. I don't even know. It was monetary something or other. But other than that, I don't know what the whole, and I still say in my head, at least I'll say it out loud, if that were a white male, I don't think that would have happened. I don't.
You never hear about it. No. And I'm sure it happens. I'm sure, they're, arrested for.
I heard that, Remy. I heard that there was some relationship between the cop and Mr. Floyd. I did see, but I didn't hear the whole story. But that there was animosity between the two, that they had an animosity. And I did see that there's 17 or 19 different citations where they let this cop, there were complaints, significant complaints against this man, and they let him continue to wear a badge and a gun.
Mama Three Girls
explain that to me.
Had the knee on his neck, had a prior incident with this man earlier to this. So they knew each other, and it was a conflict of interest. Also, they should not allow that. Yeah, that's wrong.
No, they should not have. He passed a fake $20 bill that they might have. He might have. Did he even know that it was a fake $20 bill? What if? Sorry.
He might.
What if he got it from a change from a store somewhere, and he didn't even know it was a fake $20 bill?
Even if he knew, I mean, does that merit what
is a fake $20 bill worth your life? I mean, come on.
I don't think so.
This is we got to have a discussion. We got to have a dialogue. We got to fix this shit.
But it has happened to white people. More white people are killed by cops than blacks, which is the way it should be according to population. You would think if blacks were targeted,
she's still constant. The numbers would be
off, and black number
but is
higher,
it
which could, yeah.
But is it, Ash, is it a population thing, do you think? Or is it actually that more white people are injured or killed by cops?
Got change, was going to the store and someone's money to get something for them. Well, we'll never know now, will we?
Yeah, what if he borrowed the $20? I mean, who knew if he knew that it was not a good $20 bill?
Do you, when you get changed, and I'm not saying it was or it wasn't, but when you get changed, do you check if it's like, if
Hell
it's
no.
real or not?
I
Like,
don't carry one of those little pins.
like, I just don't.
Well, let me tell you what they did do, and this has been decades ago now. When they first wrote that seizure laws, so that if you got caught dealing drugs, let's say, okay, then the cops could legally, they rewrote, it was in Louisiana, they rewrote the law so that if you got caught, your property, your vehicle, whatever was a part of you dealing those drugs could be seized and auctioned by the sheriff's department so that they could reap the financial benefit of arresting you, taking your property, and shutting you down. Then they could put that back into their law enforcement for whatever they needed, vehicles or computers or more jail space or whatever they needed, more personnel. Okay, sounded like a good idea, except Sulphur, Louisiana took it and ran with it.
Richard.
They started, pulling everybody. They just set up shop on I-10, which is a drug corridor. I mean, I get it. From Florida to Houston, Texas, and really across country, but mostly those two cities, anywhere in Florida and Houston is a huge I-10, goes east to west, west to east. It's a huge drug pipeline, okay? So Sulphur, Louisiana sits right there before you get into Texas. They set up shop. They started shutting down everybody. If you looked suspect, and they were profiling. I mean, the things that they were describing to me, the type of people that they would stop, was clearly profiling. There's no other word for it. So they would shut them down.
Look into his past with excessive force towards mostly people of color. There is no denying his racially charged overkill while on duty.
Right. So they were shutting these people down, and they would take their money, they would take their vehicles, they would put them in jail, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So the Nightline came down. This has been decades ago. This like back in the 90s, early 90s, I think it was. They came down and they wanted to do an expose on it because it was getting a lot of flack from people saying I was stopped and they accused me of drug running, and they took all of the stuff that I had, and I had to figure out how to get home, right? So, okay, Nightline comes down. They get the DA of Calcasieu Parish, and they get one of the most prolific defense attorneys, and they're interviewing both of them. And they said, we're going to do a little experiment. We want each of you to take out $1 out of your wallet. They take out their wallets. They take out $1. They got a drug sniffing dog. Okay. The dog reacted to the DA's dollar because you don't know where your money's been. Okay. But the dog does. So according to that dog, our DA in Calcasieu Parish was a dope dealer. I mean, if you're going to go by what these cops were doing, so they could have arrested him, done whatever to him, right? Because that's what they're doing to people who are traveling through Louisiana at the time, okay? And it was really a profound little experiment that they did there. You don't know where your money's been. You don't know who had it last. If it's been rolled up and somebody snorted coke through it or whatever, you don't know. So.
And M says, I know it was fake, but what I'm saying is they don't know for sure if it was him pushing the fake money.
Right. Exactly.
He could have just got the $20 back in change, etc.
Exactly.
Who knows? Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, we'll never know now.
I mean, he may not have even known it was fake. He could have.
Like, that's what I said. Do you check every bit of change that you get?
You know what? He could have stopped at an ATM, okay, seriously, or a bank, and to get money for the day or whatever he was going to go do for that day, and gotten that $20, and nobody had discovered it until whatever store he went into to pay for something with had no clue that it was a fake 20, and that's what happened. And he lost his life because of that. No, it's not. That's not okay.
Losing your life, like, is a loss. Is $20, worth losing your life over? Like, do they even use that much force on freaking serial killers? Come on.
No, we get to give them like 40 years worth of appeals first.
Yeah, really.
Dear
they have
God.
more rights than anybody. So you need to hold the cops accountable until they are held accountable. They will continue to feel as if they can get away with it. Ash says. Wait. Mama Three Girls saying something. The autopsy findings are that he didn't die from asphyxiation or strangulation. He passed away from being intoxicated and heart failure. To me, that doesn't matter. Pain and not being able to breathe could.
Either that or I am.
Oh, geez.
She's like, she's like, I bet there's a lot of drugs on at least half of our bills. That and how many of them have been in the crotch of a stripper? Go handle your money.
Oh my God. Yeah, someone told me that money is one of the filthiest things.
It is.
Always wash your hands after you handle money, because it's the filthiest thing that you have in your wallet, in your purse, is money. It was something wrong. But the cop was wrong. He has been arrested and charged. The violence needs to stop. It seems like it's sad that because the cop got away with pretty much the same thing in here in Pittsburgh not too long ago. If you have a good attorney, and it so happens that his attorney is my attorney, but he got him off. He did. He got him off.
Well, and mommy of three girls has a point. The autopsy findings said that he didn't die of asphyxiation or strangulation. That he passed away. He was intoxicated and he had heart failure. Like I said, if his neck was turned, and it was, and he's got his knee on that carotid artery, and he's already got heart issues, that's why they don't teach cops to put knees on necks. That's why. You don't know if they've got a spinal injury that could snap their neck. Well, like the guy that died in the back of the paddy wagon, where was that? Was that in like Boston, or where was that?
And Ash,
Gray, I think was
I
his
believe
name.
cops, like some cops, get a bad rap because of the nature of their job. Because she says is because if we are honest, the cops are given a lot of leadway, and historically they get away with it, even when it's obviously murder.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I understand they have a bad, they get a bad rap sometimes, but it's a few, like they say, a few bad apples ruin the whole bunch. Then nobody wants to trust them. And that's the one you have to, you have to weed out and punish.
And what further hurts our Black communities in this country is you arrest this cop, right? And you charge him with what? Third-degree murder. If you look up the definition in that city, in that precinct, of what the definition of third-degree murder is, it's basically, well, I shot that gun in the air. I didn't mean for it to kill anybody, but oops, it did. No. That guy knew exactly what I don't think that did he intend for the man to die? Okay, maybe not initially. But when they took that man's pulse and they found no pulse, and he's remained on his neck, he did not immediately flip him over and render aid to that man. To me, that's murder one. You made a conscious decision to continue the actions that you were previously committing against him, knowing he no longer had a pulse. That's a game changer to me.
Yeah.
That's a game changer because you're trained in CPR. Come on. And then you have three other cops. What, are they so afraid of you that they don't want to render aid to this man? So to me, they're at least accessory to murder because they stood by and let it happen. They didn't do anything about it. I mean, at what point do you whip out your stun gun and hit the other cop with it and go, get off of him? Or I'm going to put cuffs on your ass. Are you crazy? And that's just it too. I think we've got a long-standing culture of cops protecting cops that they know are bad because you don't want to rat out another cop. Okay. Well, we're way past that point. Okay. You need to be calling out people who are hurtful and deadly and should not be in the position that they're in my opinion. In my opinion. I'll keep saying that.
You're not allowed to have an opinion. You know that.
Yeah, right. Everybody's got one. Like they have an asshole, they have an
Yeah.
opinion. I
Everybody's got
have
an
both,
opinion, just
an
like you're not an
asshole
asshole.
and an opinion.
You're not an asshole.
No, I'm
Oh,
not one, but I have one. Exactly, Ash. They need to speak up when they notice that other officers are just over the top. And you know
yeah.
what? Maybe they
I
are
think
just,
they have I think a lot of them don't want to. It's like, it's like snitching on a
yeah,
fellow, you know, they don't want to be known as a snitch. And a
God,
lot
they
of
ought to
times,
get medals
yeah,
for it.
yeah, yeah, they ought
Get
to. But
get
I
pay
don't
raises or
know if it's like
bonuses.
that. I don't know if because your ex-husband was law enforcement. If you snitch on a fellow officer, do they get a bad, reputation? Like
Yeah, they
they
do.
trust them?
They do. Because
Um,
they're all expected to keep each other's secrets. What the secrets are, I don't know, but
so
he
and
ended
there's
up in
that,
internal affairs and he was
yeah,
really hated then.
and there's that,
Yeah.
which people, don't think about sometimes and should.
And and who's watching out for internal affairs? That they have their own governing force in there in these institutions that are supposed to be watching out for stresses and things like that. And when a cop is too stressed out and they're too frustrated, they're too angry. But who's watching those guys?
I'm a goddess. I don't have an asshole. I don't poop.
Who is that? Oh, I know, Ash.
Before.
And you
Okay, I
don't
needed that
poo
laugh this morning.
and
This
it doesn't
is way
stink.
too heavy. The brotherhood needs to protect each other in a better ways. Yeah, or if someone does report something, they got to make damn sure that they protect that person that is, calling whoever to task because,
Yeah,
and that, nobody's gonna find out who they are or they can go.
yeah. I mean, if you're really interested in what we honestly have done to our citizens that pay taxes and work and live in our communities here that are of color, that are Black, they're African
Mhm.
American, they're
Right.
American. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. Do look it up and see what they've gone through, where they've been gerrymandered, where they've been put in different parts of our cities in shit housing with nothing but a liquor store and a 7-Eleven. Their grocery stores are miles away and they may not have a vehicle to get there. You know,
Mhm.
um, what we've done is horrific and it needs to freaking change on so many different levels. I completely agree with that. The
Mhm.
fact that most of our African American men and women were raised by single mothers because their husbands were locked up for life on a simple drug charge. And by simple drug charge, I mean they got caught with a little bit of drugs on them. They're not
How
out
about
there dealing. They're not
the next
gang
thing is
banging.
all lives matter, not blue lives matter,
Yeah,
black lives matter, all
all
lives
lives.
matter.
But I do have to say that, I was one of the first ones that said, "Oh, bullshit on this Black Lives Matter. All lives matter." But really and truthfully, those individuals who stood up years ago and said Black Lives Matter, I hear that now. I
Yeah.
didn't hear it
Yeah.
initially, but I do hear it now
Yeah.
because I've gone back and I've looked at what exactly what exactly has happened to our African Americans over the past few decades. What have we done to them to put them in a position where they are so hurt and so wounded and so angry? And you know what? If I were them, I would be too. Now, to the level of rioting,
No.
but listen, that's not them. Those are terrorist organizations that are inciting riots, and
I
they
know.
need to be dealt with.
And you can't
And
incite hatred for a whole race of people.
no,
Not all white people.
no,
I think more white people are outraged about this. I'm not. I mean, there's
then
a
you
lot of
would
black
then you
people,
would think,
but
yeah,
then yeah,
yeah.
then you would think.
hmm I think that they need to be on the steps of their local communities and their states, and then federally as well, demanding that things change. right alongside, because it's the human race. It's not a race.
It
It's
is
the human
the human
race.
race. Yeah,
And
exactly. And I won't be watching that video because I think I don't want to see someone be wounded and killed in that way. I really don't. I really don't. I've heard enough of how horrific it is. They all wear body cams and all have dash cams. You can't do anything these days without being on camera somewhere.
so you'd think people would behave, wouldn't
You
you?
would think that this officer would have and everybody has a cell phone, so everybody can take out, as we found out.
See, I probably would have been shot that day or
Yeah.
tased or something. I
Mhm.
probably would have liked it too. I don't
Mhm.
know. But
I-
I would have at least, I'd have had to been in somebody's face like, what in the fuck are you doing? Yeah. But here they are. They are fellow African Americans seeing a member of their community, of their same color, being treated like this. They don't want to be the next one. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I completely understand that. And they were absolutely handling that situation so well, those bystanders. My heart broke for them too, to see that happening and being, they had to have felt completely helpless. Had to have.
Ash, is that you up here? Ash 274.
Yeah. Get in here.
Hi, Miss
Oh,
Tina.
she's backstage. No, I don't think it's her.
No?
Can you
No,
guys hear
I
me?
don't think so. And unless it
Who
is,
is that?
unless she tells me in the chat that's her, because she's never come up on my.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you. How are you?
It's been a shitty weekend, to say the least.
Yeah.
Well, I got a new bed out of it, so I'm happy.
Oh, you got a new bed? That's cool.
Yeah, but the rioting in Philadelphia has been so bad. I have so many friends. I have so many friends who are police officers, who are good police officers.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're right. She's absolutely right. The protests that you have, that people march, and that they're the protesters. This is Antifa.
Terrorism.
This is
terrorism.
This is Antifa. This is a group organization that is now trying to put anarchy all over the United States. That is their goal. And so they take these young kids who are really impressionable, and they put them out there, and they start the looting and the shooting. The only reason why I know this is I sat and I talked with True Helper yesterday, who was out in the riots the other day because he was trying to protect his friend's stores.
God, and I can't even. These people have lost so much money with the COVID.
Now,
and to think that they had a glimmer of hope for a brief second that they might be able to recoup something.
Okay, Ash, someone came up as you. I didn't think it was you.
What happened?
I had no picture. I must be a clone person.
Saturday night, I never slept. I never slept Saturday night because I was terrified, because there was a screenshot that was sent around that said where the police live in Philadelphia, which is the area that my parents live in. And it scared the shit out of me, because it's a smaller area. It's not very big. You got your big city, but then you have your little small divisions in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the division they were talking about. And I was like, oh my God. And so that scared me to death. My friend, who's a cop who lives behind my parents, he's watching out for them. But Saturday night, I couldn't sleep. Tonight, I slept last night.
Yeah, we're having most of the riots here taking place in downtown Pittsburgh. So we've had them before.
They're in Harrisburg. They're in Harrisburg. They're in Trenton. There's
we had riots when that police officer was acquitted of murder, and I was talking about that earlier. Mm-hmm. We had riots then.
See, and not only that, like where my parents live in Philadelphia, it's like kind of off the offskirts of right before you hit Bucks County, which is like the next county over. So they're kind of on the curve of Philadelphia and the next county. And there's a big mall there. And the name of that mall is Franklin Mills Mall. And Franklin Mills Mall is a huge, big mall. and they started looting last night in that mall,
Oh God.
and they almost tried to set it on fire. But they did get them. And then apparently there's another mall in Bucks County called the Chamonix Mall. From what I heard, they tried to loot that mall. And this is now this is in the suburbs. You're nowhere near the city. So now in the suburbs, you have everybody trying to break in what they said was the Sears store, but it didn't work. So I know that like every county is coming around because they're just trying to find a way to start destruction everywhere. That's all it is.
Yeah,
It's scary. It's
You know
scary.
it's bad if they're trying to loot Sears. I mean, isn't Sears bankrupt?
yes, it
I
was
mean,
empty.
not trying to be a smart ass, but I'm
They're
just
I guess
saying.
that
they're
I
trying to
think
make a point. They're just terrorists, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Yep.
mhm,
Like I won't
mhm.
even go where I usually go to get my produce because my husband won't allow me. He said it's like predominantly black, and I'm not. It's not because I'm racist. It's because
The
I won't ever
tension.
come up
Tension.
unannounced. Laughing my ass off. This is a pet peeve of mine. People showing up at my house unannounced. I feel kind of like our streams are our homes in a way. I'm weird. I'll always ask. Okay, hon. I just wanted to make sure. I mean, I
Always
always
ask. You know
ask.
what?
I
Unless you
didn't think
ask
it was you.
somebody and you know them and you know that's their avatar. Even sometimes you do that and it's not them,
Yeah.
but they're good at that. But that's
Mm.
not what we're all
Well,
this
I
rioting.
didn't think it was her because, I've never seen her,
We need a safety word.
Yeah, we need a code word. Code
We need
word.
a safety word.
Yeah. So I just woke up and I thought I haven't even checked and see what happened with Philly late last night or what it looks
Uh,
like now. But
oh no, we had most of our protests were concentrated downtown Pittsburgh.
yeah, no, they moved ours. They kept moving ours to
I
different parts of
probably did. Like
Philadelphia.
I haven't watched it. I'm like scared to see what they're doing, what
I
they're up to.
agreed. I was scared as well. Agreed. Oh my God. So
And plus,
not to
you
get
have police
not
officers,
not
friends.
no, I have tons. Oh wait, hold it. I got to go look at this real quick. If I pop off, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You still there?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. He just sent me something. Looters swarm Franklin Mills. Police called to arrest Philly. All right. My friend is sending me stuff as we're talking.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy, this is not good.
All
I don't
right.
want to say, I'm not going to say this out loud. I'll send it to you. This
Okay.
is what it says. We will be assisting oh, hold on. I'm just making sure I'm saying this right. Okay, this is something he found. I don't believe this could be actually something that's not true, but this is the post and this is what it says. We will be assassinating white families until justice is served.
Oh my
This will
God.
Wow.
we will set
That's
up
scary.
in white neighborhoods and cities. It's time to take action. All white
I'm in a
people
white neighborhood.
must pay for their sins. And this is obviously to scare people. This I don't
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's
believe that.
scary because
Yeah,
I live in a white
the
neighborhood.
military.
I don't.
I live. I'm not. I don't. I live in a very mixed neighborhood.
Me
There's
too.
many different, many.
Me too.
You got whites. You have your blacks. You have your Indians.
Well, like I said, we're close to a black neighborhood. That's where I do all my produce shopping. It's about a mile, 2 miles from where I live. But where I actually live is predominantly white. Um, we even had some rats. Where
Not
was that?
me.
That's scary though. It
people
is
want to
very
scare,
scary.
but you have to understand there are people out there right now who just want us all to be in fear.
Well, that puts the fear of God in me.
And but
We really
I think
go lives
what I
matter.
just saw, I do not believe was real at all, because that I think that might have been the same harassment somebody was trying to do to the neighborhoods that my parents live in. Like they're seriously being harassed. And thankfully, my mom's like,
harassment.
we've been through this before. I'm like, you have? She's like, the 60s? I'm like, okay.
Oh, Lord. I don't think there are, there are protesters that aren't violent protesters.
There are.
And it's not all the blacks. There's a lot of
No.
whites out there that are just
Yeah,
Oh,
there
yeah.
are.
No. This is not.
Because when we had the protests in Pittsburgh, when that guy was acquitted, that was mostly whites protesting and doing the worst part, the worst shit.
Hey, I was all for protesting on George Floyd, all for it. Everybody should protest if they have the opportunity to. But the fact of the matter is when it turns to this is not it. This is not, you're destroying our country as we speak.
Yeah. And we're going through enough already with this whole COVID,
and it's not, you're not just hurting you're hurting everybody who lives in that city. And guess what? Everybody in Philadelphia Saturday night who was arrested, almost everybody, I think, but 2 were not from our state, was not from Pennsylvania. So,
Which, if you listen to the Attorney General last night, who quite clearly came out and said, by the way, that is a federal crime. If you cross state lines to incite riots, not to protest, to incite riots, that's a federal crime.
I don't know. I mean, I agree with you, but I don't know what they're doing because we're allowed, it seems like this, I mean, how can you stop it? But
oh my God. Yeah, you're so right, Mama Three Girls. She said it's sad when we have to call in. Yeah, I heard the National Guard too in the military because
begging.
they're tearing our towns, cities, and communities up. And for what? What does that do or prove exactly? What we need to wait for justice to be served is what we're
But
waiting.
you have to understand, this is nothing to do with the protesters. This has nothing to do with George Floyd. This is everything to do with looting and causing anarchy. That's all this is.
Well, it was just a reason to do it.
The other marches where people go out peacefully protesting, take a knee when they're, for 8 minutes and stuff like that, the way they're doing, that's protesting. Taking it to the streets, protest. Turning it into violent riots is not protesting. That is destroying. And not only that, they're going into cities of very hard working class people who have it very hard and looting their neighborhoods.
Right.
So they're only affecting the people who live there. And let me tell you, it ain't all white and it ain't all black. But there's a lot of mixed people and they're not going to be happy because this is the city they live in and they need to make money. We haven't made money in I don't know how long. So now with people getting ready to go back to work, there's no work. Why? They destroyed the businesses.
That is so sad to me too. Like these businesses have waited out so long. Now it's finally getting to the point where they can open up and this happens. They're just totally destroyed. It just, when is it going to end? When is this going to end?
Put it this way, I know people who have a restaurant, not in Center City, Philly, but not far from Franklin Mills, and they stood guard of their place with guns ready.
I agree, Mommy of Three Girls. It is, we need to be as concerned when a black person kills another black person in our inner cities. We also need to fix prison reform. If you go back to the 60s and the 70s and you look at what the administration that was in office at that time, our president who made the statement, if you give them enough free things, they'll vote for us for 100 years. There were things that were put in place to cripple African Americans in this country, and that needs to be changed. The prison reform has got to be done. We have to have these dads raising these kids in these homes. We have to. You know, and I'm sorry, but as far as what I've seen in what little bit, I mean, I've scratched, not even scratched the surface of it, but white people who are caught with drugs are not given nearly the prison sentences that blacks are, or Hispanics for that matter too. It's got to stop. It has to change. People, you know, we're all created equal, and that means all. I don't care what color you are. We're all created equal. Period. Either we
Morning, Nellie.
are, or something's really, really wrong. You know,
We
and
all are
that's a big
equal.
part of it. That's a big part of it. When you don't have homes that are intact with a father and a mother and churches, and you structure a community that they can build, that they have grocery stores and not liquor stores, you know, and you don't just, American Indians, if you look at American Indians, prime example, you know, if you just give them enough alcohol, they'll just stay on the reservation and leave us alone and we can do what we want to do. I am, you know, I'm not going to sit here and white people bash, because you know what? There's great white people. There's some really shitty ones too.
Yeah,
There are
there's
great black people.
yeah,
There are some real shitty ones too. That's in every
yeah,
single race.
yeah.
But we've got to, the good ones of us need to get together and fix some stuff quickly before we don't have anything left. You
Allie's
know.
nurse loves your puppy.
Who does?
Allie's nurse. She just said,
Oh,
"Wow, Miss Demeanor, I am in love with that pup."
now that one that you see on my picture, that's my pit bull. That's not the one that we had to put down. I can't put her picture up or I would be sitting here
It would
not
be
in good shape.
it would be bawling. Then
Yeah,
I would have to make her laugh again.
yeah, you would.
So yeah.
But yeah, thank you. She is gorgeous and I love her, and she's quite the little shit.
How are you this morning, Eagle? Glad to see you.
Hey, Eagle.
Hey, Jojo.
Hey, Jojo.
Jojo said, "I'll comment regardless. This happened in England 8 years ago.
Google Mark Duggan. Okay.
Riots, looting happened for over 7 days all over the UK. It stopped, but it was scary. The cause was lost." Yeah, well, that's what the cause does get lost when something like that happens, because we forget why we're protesting, or why the you coming back up, Ginger Lost Mom? I don't know if you want to come back up, but you know, the point is what happened to this one young man, not, you know, not the looting is just a reason to terrorize, you know, people.
Well, Mojojo, did y'all get anything significant from that? Were there any types of changes that you guys were able to make from that situation?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the first, Lurker, it starts with this, all of us talking and listening to one another, and ideas, exchange of ideas. You know, how do we change? That's where we need to start. Stop fighting and start talking.
Okay,
That's going to be
oh God.
tough.
Three Girls says, when we have leaders encouraging violence, celebrities who our children look up to promoting violence in youth, and parents who aren't involved in their child's life as they should be, this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
When we have electronics raising our kids instead of our, you know, our families, and I'm sorry, churches, because I was raised in a church. It was a good one too. It wasn't, you know, we sat down and we opened up a Bible and everybody read it together, and we asked questions and we talked about how we saw what we were reading. And you know what? There was as many different opinions as there were Bibles in that room. You know, everybody got something different out of it, but it was good to listen to what somebody else may see it.
I get it. Believe me, I just don't see it happening. It's so sad. I just don't, if they don't stop the looting and the, you know, what are they going to accomplish? Like, I believe that these officers should be held accountable. You have to go because they got kids homeschooling. Oh, I understand, Ginger Logs. It's okay.
Yeah, and I get it, Lurker. I do. You get so hopeless, and so it's despair. is really what it is. It's like,
and what can we do? Can we
Well-
like write to our, what can we do with short of looting and protesting, or should we all be out there protesting? I'm scared.
I
No,
think honestly, it starts with your town hall meetings.
yeah,
Everybody is from a community. Everybody has community meetings. Unfortunately, in my community, and this is something that I really want to look at changing, they have it like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday. Hello, people are freaking working, you jackasses. Why don't you have it on a Saturday? I mean, I get it. You've got a nice cushy civil servant job and probably don't make a whole lot of money, but you know what? Why can't you donate a couple of hours of your Saturday so that more members of the community can get together and talk about things that they're really concerned about? And showing up to these meetings, don't just saying, well, I wonder what they're talking about down at City Hall. Go down there, find out. Take your grievances. That's the best thing about this country is you have the right to do that. You know,
exactly.
in a controlled and in a civil manner, yeah. And start on in your local community, and then it will go from there. The communities will get together, neighboring communities, and they will go meet on the steps of City Hall, or the state legislature, and say, this is what we want changed. This is our community. This is our state. We're taking it back, and this is the way we want things run from now on.
Ash says the National Guard will stop the rioting. Don't worry about that. They will shut it down with force. And I'm not talking the force like cops do. They will stop with military force. It will end real fast. And it didn't have to go that way.
Yeah.
I mean, there are peaceful protests. Come on.
There are. And it breaks my heart for those that are doing it the right way.
Some peaceful protests.
Eagle homeschooling over. She passed.
Yay!
Top of her class.
Good
Go teacher, Eagle. Yeah.
Good teacher. It is awesome. It's like in such a weird year this year so far. And it's June. Can you imagine half the year is like we're into the 6th month of the year?
Yeah.
Like, wow. It's crazy. It's really crazy. And next weekend was supposed to be, we're going into the green zone. We're supposed to be fixing to do something. And now I don't know. I hope this is all passed by then. So
I've heard that a lot more lately too, Ash 274, that they prefer not to be called African Americans. They're not from Africa. They were born and raised here. They're Americans. They just have brown skin.
Yeah, and I don't know what the politically correct, because what you're damned if you do. I don't know what I should call.
Well, and I just want to be able to refer to people as they want to be referred to. That gives them the most pride in being a part of this nation.
Right, and they're citizens, so they should be called their citizens. They are citizens with every right and privilege. They should have every right and privilege that everyone else has. So it's sad. It's just sad what has come to. I feel bad for this guy. I really do. I feel like horrible for him and his family. My husband and I are starting Invisalign this week. Figure out now is the time while I'm off for work.
Carla.
I'm not saying anything. I don't know.
Hold my hand. Hold my hand. Here we go.
Yes, here we go.
Okay, we're gonna be nice.
Call us Thelma and Louise.
Now is the time while I'm off of work for right. That would be the perfect time to do it. Yeah. I bet that hurts though.
I don't even know what Invisalign. Did they go over your teeth and then they just straighten your teeth, or I don't even.
I think
really
gradually,
know.
like braces do, but without having the braces. All
right. Because like in my day, kids wore braces, like the railroad track braces.
Yeah, that's what I had. I didn't have. Now my sister had the ones that went all the way around the tooth. The big heavy braces.
Right. Yeah.
I just had the little glue on.
I had that too. Like she's like, motor.
Mhm.
She hated that. She hated them too. She hated eating because, like, after she ate all the food, we get stuck inside, and oh my god,
Yep. Oh yeah. You had like
yeah, it was
spinach,
just like,
green
yeah,
shit
it would
stuck
be
in
like,
your
like
brain.
really gross.
It's like, that's attractive.
Well, these Invisaligns just fit over your teeth, and then you take them
Right.
out, and wash them out. Yeah.
And they're invisible, supposedly. Yeah, no, I did my nail vet. And then I was such a smart ass, I demanded, because my sister's like 3 years older than me, and she got braces, and I was so freaking jealous. I thought they were so cool that I made my, hi Lily, that I made my mom take me to the orthodontist, and he did like x-rays and all that stuff. He goes, well, unfortunately, you're not getting braces today. I'm like, I was like really sad. I wanted to cry. And he's like, because your lower jaw is growing faster than your upper jaw. You have an underbite. So we're going to have to watch it grow. We're going to do x-rays every year until you stop growing. Then we're going to take out your wisdom teeth. And then we're going to put braces on for a year. And then we're going to go in and break your jaw.
Oh, you
And why
want
are
to
you
know?
shut? And I suddenly went, I don't need braces.
You know what was really weird about me when I was growing up? I wanted to break my legs so I could have crutches. I thought the kids that broke their legs were so cool that they were walking around in crutches. So I would jump off my bed and land on my leg. I would try to break my leg. I never did. I thought it would be so cool to have crutches because everybody like felt sorry for you. Like so weird. What a weirdo I was. I wanted to have crutches. I could have had crutches because my
I was
brother broke.
willing to fake it. I was not willing to go and break the leg. No, that was too much. That was
Yeah.
pain. But I would fake it. I would be like, yeah, I'd be like your dog. Oh, my
I
leg.
just thought it was really cool. It was really cool to have like crutches. Like,
Or a cast. Or a
yeah,
cast.
or a
Yeah.
cast and have all the kids like sign your cast, all your classmates sign your cast. Like I'm a freaking weirdo. Like a weirdo. I had braces as a teen. Then at 18, I lost.
Your father's insurance. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't afford retainers. Yeah, they're expensive. I think they're even more expensive now.
I had retainers, okay, the pop in and out ones, but I would always wake up like the next morning with them like stuck to my ass where I'd like taken them out of my mouth during the night and then slept on top of them. Yeah, that was not comfortable. And then I went back because they started moving after I got married and got braces again. And then they put a permanent retainer on my bottom teeth in the front on the inside. And so that the theory is that if you keep them straight, then the teeth that sit on top of them won't get pushed out of place, which is true. Um, so that was like 20 something years ago. I still have that retainer. I go to the dentist now. They're like, what's this? I'm like, yeah, can we just gloss over that because it's still in there. I never had it taken out. Yeah, whatever. Straightteeth.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love you guys. You guys are too funny.
I know.
But my dogs are acting like
I
total
know.
freaking heathens.
Well, yeah, but they're probably missing Ginger,
No, they're out there barking because a leaf fell out of a tree.
My
They're
stepdaughter's dogs are like that. They know us. Okay, we go there all the time. It doesn't matter when we come in. They bark at us every single time. And the one dog, they're the same breed. The one dog weighs about 75 pounds more than the other dog, and they're the same like brothers, because the other one will take a pound of butter off the counter and eat it. You go through the garbage and eat anything in there. It's like the biggest pig I've ever seen. And the other one has no food.
Yeah.
Well, it has food, but the fat one won't let her eat. Crazy. The craziest freaking dogs I've ever seen in my life.
If y'all dig one more hole in my yard, I swear to God. So yeah, and we're supposed to get like hurricane type tropical storm shit coming in the next 5 days. So I'll probably be squeegeeing out the sewer water from my home in the next week or so. That'll be fun. It's gonna be great. I look forward to it.
No, I've never been.
You know what? I'm not gonna mop. I'm not gonna mop till I find out what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm
Seriously.
going on strike.
Well, do you think it's going to be a bad one, or?
Well, here's the
Texas had a
thing.
bad one year.
If it's a tropical storm, it's bad because it's just going to rain and rain and rain and rain. That's what happened with Harvey, actually. Harvey didn't make landfall here. It was like way south and whatever from us. But what happened was as it moved north, it hit my town and the surrounding area and just sat there and rained and rained and rained like for days, to the point where everything was flooded. You know, there was no wind, there was no storm surge bringing the Gulf of Mexico onto the land like normally. Yeah, it was just rain. So there's that. So if it does that, then I'm for sure going to flood. My house always floods, the entire house.
It's like, you know, that's
we haven't replaced the flooring from the last quote unquote tropical storm that we had. We still have concrete floors, some tile, but the rest of it's concrete. We're living like hillbillies. You bet. Because what's the point?
You're not in Kansas anymore.
No, and you know, everybody, it was so funny because I went up there and they're like, oh, you came up here where there's tornadoes. I'm like, bitch, please. Okay. I was raised in Nashville. Not once did I ever see a tornado. Okay. They have them all the time. And what in the hell do you think a hurricane is? It is one massive 100-mile wide tornado. Okay. It's wrapped in 100,000 little tornadoes around it. So
Right.
I'm not scared of your tornado. Oh, and you have basements. We don't in Texas. If you try to dig a basement in Texas, you have an indoor pool. Just saying.
Well, we had a tornado warning here one time, and I was scared to go down the basement. I didn't know where to go because we don't get them. I didn't know where the safest place to go, and someone said your bathroom. Sit in your bathroom with a mattress over top of you. So I blew up a mattress and sat on my tub. And we never got a tornado, but
I am. We're both being good girls this morning. We're going to be good girls from this point forward because you know what? I'm not spending one more ounce of my energy on negative crap on social media. I'm just not. You know, we can talk about current events. We can talk about, but all the stuff that's happened over the last week on social media is the most disgusting. I didn't know that there were human beings like that on this planet. Okay. So that's all I have to say about that. And I'm just not going to stoop to that level. I'm just going to rise above it. And we're going to talk about stuff that impacts all of us that we might all want to talk about. And we're not the ones in control of this whole. If y'all have something to talk about, let's talk about it. Except for that other shit. Which we're not going to talk about.
No, we're not going to talk about.
They're not worth my time or my dignity or my anger or my frustration or not even my laughter.
Honestly, like we have a lot of fun, like in Facebook Messenger, because there's
my God.
Like, we laugh, we share memes, and we don't have to worry about phone calls being recorded and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we don't have to worry about anything. So, and that's good.
Yeah,
I think
we have a lot of good time. We have good time. There's a lot of good times to be had.
Yeah, there is, and you know what? There is good people on here that you can trust and you can have fun with without no drama. No, like there's always going to be a little bit of gossip, of course.
This ain't your drama, your mama's drama.
This ain't your mama's drama.
What drama did they have? Like, did your pantyhose last longer than a month? Or what? I wonder how long my mom could keep a pair of pantyhose, like if she washed them out in the sink and hung them over the shower curtain.
Mine until my toenails got big, and then I'd have a run all the way up. And you remember wearing pantyhose?
And then you would get the fingernail polish, the clear fingernail polish, and and then it would stick to your leg.
Yeah. I used to hate that. Or you'd wear it and it'd be perfect. You'd go to work and then all of a sudden you'd have a run in your stocking. And I was like, it would bother you all that day because you had a run in your. Is that noise? For God's sakes. What is
Yeah.
that noise?
That's my wind chimes. Shut.
Oh
Listen,
my God.
that is Zen. That listen,
The noisiest
listen.
just on
That
you.
is Zen. We should all be saying woosah.
Okay, we got our own
Woosah.
show here. Yeah, we got our own show here.
That's right.
Yeah. No, there's
right.
going to be a little bit of gossip here and there, like my
And
different
can you identify the noises in Misdemeanor's house?
Can you identify misdemeanor's noises in the background? I can never identify. Usually it's the TV. It's her feeding her dogs, her eating cereal.
Then somebody this week it was like, what is that noise? It's a goddamn train, okay?
Yeah. It's like, I'm sitting there and I was muting her because I wanted to find out which guest was making all the noise. And she goes, don't you think I didn't see you were muting my ass?
Right. I try to mute.
I was like, but
sometimes.
well, I wanted to know. I think I had 5 guests on or something, and I was trying to figure out which one I was making all the noise. Because
like you didn't know.
well, no, but you and Miss Murdered sometimes are neck to neck on making noise. So, you know,
I do. I can make some noise.
I still love the noise. Yeah, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just like sometimes, like I guess my brain doesn't work well in the morning. Is that your dog howling?
No, that's me laughing at your ass. My brain doesn't work in the morning. Like
new game
ever.
New game to play in the morning. What is the next noise coming from?
What's that? Identify that. Which dog is it?
Which dog is
it? You have to be able to identify them by name and breed. Yeah. Go.
And then you will win what? A crocheted item of your choice.
That got a dick in there. What? Oh, you're so bad. You are so bad. Ash 274.
Oh, you know, it's so funny the list they make people have. Like,
stop. You're going to go in the corner. You're going to go in your own damn trunk. That's what's going to happen.
Ash is an angel. Didn't you know she has horns just to make a point?
2 girls in braces at the same time. Got them on the same day.
Have you ever heard that? I mean, people had braces, you know, a guy and a girl had braces and they kissed and their braces locked together.
I heard
have you ever heard about that? Like,
but I never actually saw it happen.
No, I've never seen it happen either, but I've heard that happen.
I think that was the jealous girls who didn't have braces trying to ward off all the boys from going out with the ones that had braces. That's what I thought. I want teeth whitening too. I need it from the coffee and the cigarettes. Are you kidding me?
Babe Beauty says, Chad is making me laugh my ass off and my dog thinks I'm crazy. Oh, my husband thinks I'm crazy, especially if I have earbuds on sometimes and I'm on Facebook Messenger with you and our other friend, and I'm laughing and he's like looking at me because he'll be right next to me in bed and he's like, what in hell are you laughing at? Like, you're like, want to know.
You're like, you wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't get it. He doesn't get the whole YouTube thing. He really doesn't.
See, the one thing that I would hope that Bessie does not carry forward from Ginger, and she's doing it, and it's going to piss me off. I can tell you right now. It's going to piss me off. Ginger had this thing where she was the boss. And when I tell y'all that, I'm not even playing, okay? I had no stroke in this household whatsoever. And she would go outside and she would sit there. And I'd go, come on, Jan. It's like 900 degrees outside, you know? And I'm like, come on, Jan. Everybody else is beating it to the inside to get water and get air conditioning. You know, she's just sitting there. I'm like, Jan, come on. Ginger, let's go inside. Jan. This went on for like 45 minutes. I'm like, what? I should just shut the door and let her boil. I don't know what to do. She won't come in. Do I need to go out there and get her? And so now Bessie's doing it. Where I have to beg her to come inside. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna, no.
Oh, Ash says, we need a volunteer. I mean, think of the good of the community. Less talk, aka yelling, screaming, and cussing. The less stress we got. Any dudes want to take one for the team? Yeah, we do. Yeah. It can happen.
Yes. Yes, Lord. Move, people. My husband made hot dogs last night for dinner. It
My
was so
husband loves,
good.
my husband loves hot dogs. I do
Hot
too.
dogs and chili. I haven't had hot dogs in forever. It was so
You
good.
know what I bought at the grocery store this weekend? Um I bought tofu. And
Stop
here's
it.
the reason. No, here's the reason why. And I'm not a vegetarian,
No, me
but
neither.
I've been watching, all the cooking channels on YouTube, and I've seen some pretty good recipes with tofu. So I'm going to try and make something this weekend today with tofu because he's eating salmon, which I hate. But
I can do salmon, but not like every day.
I mean, the tofu looks pretty gross, but someone told me
Yeah.
it takes on the flavor of whatever spices or whatever you
Yeah,
put in
so like
it.
if you soak it in like soy sauce, you
It'll
know.
take a night, and then yeah,
Is
yeah.
he trying
So
to get like away from like red meat kind of to be healthier? Is that what he's doing?
what?
Ish.
Who's that?
Like doing your
My
husband.
husband with the
Uh-huh.
fish.
Yeah.
He's trying to eat healthier, but I do
Okay.
make like unhealthy food
Do you want an
every once.
amazing idea? Okay, so my husband's cousin is a vegetarian or vegan. I don't know which one. He doesn't eat meat. Okay.
Okay.
And so I got some noodles that were vegan noodles. I don't know how they're made. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But I thought I'm going to make some spaghetti, but you got to use beef, right? No, you don't.
Right.
Go and get portobello mushrooms. They're
Okay.
dark, they're
The big
thick,
one.
they're beefy, and you chop them up to the consistency of ground beef, right?
Okay.
And do your tomato sauce, garlic, seasonings, basil, parsley, all that stuff. And cook it like you're going to cook spaghetti sauce, but with the portobello mushroom instead of ground beef. It is so freaking
And then
good.
you can replace the noodles with spaghetti. Have you ever had spaghetti squash?
Yes. You can use the spaghetti squash for the
Yeah, you
noodles
can use
instead.
if you
Yeah.
want it to be real healthy. My
Yeah.
husband doesn't like the spaghetti squash. I have used it. I don't mind it. I think it takes on the flavor of whatever sauce you put it in.
Ash274 said the magic words. We needed a dude who was going to take one for the team, and who shows up? 180. She's our miracle worker.
Ash 274 is a nice lady. Oh, she conjured him. She let him out of the trunk, is what she did. She let him out of the trunk of her car. And that's when
Yeah.
he goes up.
If she's too nice, he might run away. He might think
Yeah.
it's a trap. Yeah. You got to be mean to him.
Yeah, he
He
likes
likes
to
it
be
like that.
abused. He likes to be abused.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. He always abuses him when he's up here.
So my husband went to Sam's yesterday, right, to go
Right.
get dog food and whatever else. And he said, okay, well, beef is out for now. And I said, do I even want to know? He goes, I don't know. He said, I looked at ribeyes. Ribeyes, you used to could get $14, $15 for good, thick ribeyes, two of them. Okay, not out of the ballpark. $37 for two ribeyes. I'm like, really? He goes, I tried to get a roast. It was like $48.
It's just cracking me up. I'm not going to
I'm
eat
like,
pork.
so we're down to pork, chicken, and fish. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah.
Right. Now, are you in an area that's got a lot of shortage on meat? You've got to get friendly with Tawanda because she's a butcher.
You would think I live in the beef cap. I'm in Texas. Shit.
Yeah,
You
well, you
can't
would
swing
think,
a dead cat and not hit a cow down here. I don't know where the hell they all went, but okay.
Ash is cracking me up. I'm reading her comments.
Ash, you're so bad.
You are such a bad girl.
Oxidized. Oh, God. Okay, I saw that and I giggled and I moved on. I know exactly what you're talking about, Ash.
I got a can of spray paint. You can to fix it.
The keys to the bus to hell. Wait, let me put on my gasoline panties. Hold on, if that's where we're going. I want to go in a flash. Okay. Oh my God.
We're bad. We are bad.
1,800 repairs. I'll tell you what, though, my husband did. He rebuilt my Sorrento, and I'll tell you what, it didn't run like that when we bought it. He's really good. He just needs to be a mechanic. He's
Hey,
really good at
Brian.
it.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Brian. Brian.
Could you do us a favor and subdue Ash 274?
Yeah, tell her to behave herself. Brian, you want to come up for a few minutes or not? You're welcome to. This is just a fun talk about what Thelma and people are going to start calling us Thelma and Louise.
We're gonna start calling what?
Me and you, Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise. We're
Thelma
gonna
and
drive
Louise.
off a cliff one day.
Yeah, we are going to drive off a cliff. Well, you know what? If we didn't drive off a cliff this week, it's never going to happen.
Right. Hey, Top Cop. I didn't see you earlier. I'm sorry.
I think I said hello to her already.
Hi, Top Cop.
Oh, I just woke up and still have eye boogers. Ew, ew,
Ew. Do you need somebody to lick those for you, Brian St. John?
Don't even go there. Misdemeanor's obsessed with the eyeball lickers.
It's all M's fault. Ooh. What does the underside of that bus look like, M's?
My family raises cattle. Feed prices are through the roof, which then raises beef prices.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't had any shortage on meat really here. I don't know. It's kind of back to normal here in Pittsburgh anyways. So
Did you really for real have somebody that played in Thelma and Louise? Don't make that up.
That
Because
played
we're
in
gonna think you're like important. Then.
Yeah, we
Did
are.
you really?
Oh, by the way, Brian, I watched your latest video and I thought it was pretty awesome. I thought it was really good. It showed a real different side of you. And did you watch his latest video?
God, no, I think I
you watch
did.
his latest video?
I
It's
think
got
I
his
did.
girls in there, and he's
Yes, that was so cute.
it was a really good video. I mean,
That was so
really
cute.
good. It was, yeah, they were.
I sent Brian a friend's request on Facebook so that he too could get on there and get all my ugly pictures.
Brian probably, if I sent him a Facebook request, would deny it. He'd say, "No, I know what she's like. No, thank you. Thanks, but no thanks." Oh, I love so many good videos. Yeah. Is that when your wife deleted them all? You know, I don't know.
That would be something I would do.
Jojo said, "Bride, top of the morning. Just left you a comment and good one under your comments to me." Yeah, I like that last video Brian put out there. It shows like a pretty nice side of you, Brian. And your wife making those faces at you in the car, and that little girl sleeping in the back seat of the car.
God love her.
Oh, God love her. Yeah.
I have the best pictures of my son when he fell asleep in a bowl of SpaghettiOs.
Oh, don't they look adorable? They look like little angels when they fall asleep. I don't know.
In a bowl of SpaghettiOs? It was cute until I realized that I was going to have to bathe them, and it's like,
It is cute. Have you ever seen those videos where the kids are falling asleep while they're eating, and they're like, their eyes are bobbing, and then all of a sudden, they keep waking themselves up. Oh my God, those are funny. Those are so cute. They're adorable. I use that chrome duct tape for the trim. Ashley got us in trouble.
What is she doing?
And she says I use that chrome duct tape for the trim.
Stop.
Stop.
Ash, I'm trying to get into heaven. You're not helping me.
Yeah, we're actually we've come to realize that we are not going to heaven, but we're going to hell together. So we're at least
high class spray paint.
Spray paint is in the way these days, from what we heard. Captain August. I had a cousin that did that. He had rust on his car, and he took a roller. I swear to God,
Shut up.
to God, he took a roller with paint that was supposed to color the car and roll paint the car. Morning, Tucker.
Oh my God.
It was funny, like, because he had all this rust on his car and he didn't know how to paint. Like, he didn't know how to do the spray paint and he didn't have the equipment. So
So
he
he
got a
just got a
roller.
roller?
He got a roller, like you would roll paint on your walls.
Right.
And he painted his car with a roller. I swear to God, I swear on my mother. That's what he did.
I love SpaghettiOs. Who doesn't love spaghetti? How can you not, M's? SpaghettiOs are, especially with the little meatballs, not with the little hot dogs cut.
I do. I like SpaghettiOs. You know, my
I
kids.
love them.
I used to give them to my kids when they were younger,
Uh-huh.
and whatever they didn't eat, I ate the rest of it.
See, yeah, there you go. Because that's what moms do. Yeah,
I
it's like,
think
hurry,
God may
well,
really
this is
like
left
us.
over.
I mean, I think we are pretty funny. He probably does too. He sees what's going on.
Listen, God has got a tremendous sense of humor, or he would have never come up with me. Okay, I'm just saying. He's like, girl,
I'd
you're
like to say
funny.
thank you to Miss Murder. She did a little video. I saw that this morning, Tucker. Yeah, it was kind of cute.
I'm gonna have to go look at that. I didn't see it this morning.
Oh, it's cute. It's like she spliced it together. It's funny. Howard would love you, Ash. Who's Howard?
Howard.
I'm
Oh,
not sure.
Howard is God. Howard be thy name.
Oh, Howard be thy name. Oh, yeah, that's a great name.
That's God's name, Howard.
Yes, everyone has the right to their own opinion.
Yep. We discussed assholes and opinions already this morning.
Yeah, everybody has one.
Except Ash. Ash has no asshole and does not shit. Just that's her story. She's sticking to it. Yep.
I had
Yep.
SpaghettiOs last night. Spaghetti Top Cop had SpaghettiOs last
See,
night.
I love SpaghettiOs. Is that crazy? No, they're good.
I love them, but I acquired a taste for them because after my kids would be done eating them, I would eat the rest of them. So
Yeah.
I didn't like them at first, but then I started getting used to like finishing off whatever they didn't eat, you know?
I kind of think at this stage of the game, anything that it doesn't involve actual cooking is a good thing.
Carlin Crew, I had to go up in last night. I was watching his chat and he started talking shit about me. Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Well, you know him. Yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, so did I tell you what Michael did?
No.
Okay, so Jen is not doing good, and we're gonna take her the next day, right, to go put her down. And he had gone to the grocery store earlier that day. He loves to grocery shop, and he bought, and I have to go read it, but I'm too lazy. I'm not gonna get up. But it was the most delicious looking cake with the streusel on the top and the cinnamon. Oh God, it looks so good. Little thin slices, and it's like in a loaf,
yes,
right?
You tell me this. You did
half
tell
the
me
loaf. He fed her half of that loaf of cake.
I remember you telling me that. You were
I
like,
said, "Why did
on
you
the
feed
floor
her?"
right
He goes, "Cause she
on
wanted
the
it."
floor right now, feeding her a piece of cake. You will not
Yeah,
believe this. I'm
I
like,
thought it was just one piece. Then I got it the next morning. It was like half of it was gone, and I knew he didn't eat that much. I was like, "Did you feed her half of that cake?" He goes, "She wanted it. Not yes, not no. She wanted it." That was the answer I got. Oh, okay. She told you that, huh? Okay.
please.
All right.
Funny.
Now Brian's hungry.
Brian's hungry. You hungry?
What are you cooking for us, Brian?
Yeah, what are you cooking? I need some tofu recipes because I bought tofu because I want to figure out how to make something with tofu. Like I'm such an idiot because I really have never made any.
What do you make with tofu?
I
Tofu,
have no,
it's not even a food group, is it?
it's supposed to replace
What's
protein.
it?
It's supposed to replace protein. I've never had it. I want to try it. I'll probably hate it because of the
Well, you know what, Carla? There's a first and a last for everything, I guess.
right. Like I've
You're
always
gonna taste it and you're gonna call me and you're gonna go, that tastes like fucking
that's what I do.
shit.
If I don't like something and it's in my mouth, I can't get it past my, I can't swallow it. I will spit it out.
I'm pretty sure it's liquefied styrofoam.
Oh,
I don't
Tom
know.
Pop says during the hurricane season, I always have SpaghettiOs as part of my survival.
Exactly. See, my husband likes getting the MREs only because they have like explosives in them. Or, well, they're not actually explosives, but you can actually build explosives out of whatever it is you use to heat it up. So he likes to play with the MRE, not actually. He thinks the food tastes good. He also thought his first wife was amazing. What can I tell you? Okay. The man makes mistakes.
The husband of Susan Morfu, who's went missing on Mother's Day, he went from 800 subs to almost 2,500 subs
Wow.
in 12 hours. Holy cow.
Wow. So do they think he had something to do with it? Or no?
What's everybody's opinion?
I don't know. I
don't
haven't kept up with my true crime. I'm gonna have to spend some time doing
me
that.
too.
I haven't kept up with Stephanie, and she's been sending me stuff in emails, and I'm like, I'm not keeping up. But I did go to sleep with her last night. She and I sleep together. I don't know if everybody's aware of that, but I am sleeping currently with Stephanie Harlow. It's great. Me and my husband. He doesn't know it, but she and I sleep together. But I put my earbuds in last night and started listening to her. And when I woke up, she was talking about Slender. Was that Slender Man guy?
Man, yeah.
I woke up and went, oh dear God, what am I listening to? Oh, make it stop, because I was scared. And I watched like half of the celebrity ghost stories before I put my earbuds in.
Those are creep. I don't
half those people are dead, Carla.
I know.
Half of them are dead. It's like every time another one would come on, I'm like, up, and they're dead too.
And that's scarier because you're watching them and you're knowing they're already dead.
Some of them were freaking scary. I ain't even gonna lie. They were scary. And I don't really get scared very often, but yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Like one chick had gone, she's like, I don't know what she's in or whatever. I don't know a lot of these celebrities because I don't keep up with that. But she was in a lot of stuff, and she was shooting something in New York. So she moved there and she sublet this apartment. It was in this big apartment building. And she said, like, almost immediately, she noticed things were not right. And she's like laughing like I would be the whole way through it. Like, yeah, things weren't right. Have a ghost. And she said that she'd hear noises, just random weird noises all night long. And that they had a piano in there, and she would hear every once in a while somebody like not playing, but just like messing with the keys on the piano. And then somebody walking around the apartment at night. So she just kind of, went to work and just didn't think about it, whatever. Didn't really like sleeping there. Was losing a lot of sleep because there was too much going on. And then one night, a friend of hers came over and they got Chinese food, and they were sitting down eating. And she said she kept hearing these noises, but she didn't know what they were, and she was trying to ignore them. And finally, he couldn't ignore it anymore. And he's like, is there a party going on in your kitchen, or is your house haunted? Your apartment haunted? She goes, you know what? I think it's haunted. And so they kind of started goading the ghost, like making fun of it a little bit. And
I'd be scared to do that, honestly.
well, yeah, I'm not going to do that, because then she said all of a sudden they're sitting there on the couch and you could like see into the kitchen where the refrigerator was. The refrigerator door flew open and shit started flying out of the refrigerator.
Oh my God.
Dude, I would have been gone.
I would have been down the freaking street 2 miles. Now, then there was no way I would have an exorcism in my house before I would go back. Like, what I have, what's happened here, like the footsteps upstairs and stuff, that's nothing. And the door opening, that was scary enough. I swear to God, my heart stopped when I saw that. And I don't care if anyone believes. I have my phone next to my bed because if it ever happens again, I'm freaking filming it. I don't care.
Now, what happened? Wait, what happened?
With me,
Yeah,
I told you. My door
tell me
opened.
again.
Okay,
Oh,
the
yeah,
door
no,
was
yeah, no.
closed,
Mm-mm.
it unlatched. Okay,
Yeah,
here's what. Okay, I'll start from the beginning. My husband was snoring
you
really
just need to call Steve and Amy. You just need to
I
call
do.
Steve
I
and
know.
Amy.
I want them. Don't. But you know what? When she does those drawings, like I'm scared she's gonna have this picture of this big thing hanging over my bed. You know what I mean?
you know,
Ever
you know
seen
what
some
me
of
and
the
my sister
drawings?
do?
Is that what you've seen? Yeah, that's
I'm
what I
waiting for her
saw.
to go, no,
And
you stupid ass. That's not at
then,
all what I told you I saw.
and then you look at the picture, and it's like this big honking ghost, like hanging over the person. And it's like, fucking shit. I don't want to see that. I'd
My
rather
sister
not
and I
see
call
that.
each other at the same time on every show and go, Amy, is this what you saw? Yes, that's what I saw. But I'm waiting for her to go, that's not anything like what I told you. What were you thinking? And just take the picture from the artist and just rip it up and say, start over.
Some of the things that I've watched, probably every show that she's in. The weirdest one I ever watched was when she said it was outside, and she said, "I see all these things in the." And it was a place, I think it was in Georgia or something, where the Ku Klux Klan was, and she
Yes.
they're haunting all these. There's all these people come home at night. I see these things in the trees, and he goes, "What kind of things?" And he goes, "It's like if you took cardboard, you know how you make snowflakes and stuff." He says, "I
Yeah.
see these cardboard cutouts in the tree," and that was the
Yeah.
freak weirdest. I would so freak out, but
I
it was
think
all
the
about like Ku Klux Klan and stuff
yeah.
like. I guess,
Yeah, and they were trying to set fire to her house. And she
yeah.
said she would get up in the middle of the night all the time and her stove would be on
Yeah.
in the
And then
middle of the
he
night.
went inside, and she was like, she looked like terrified, and she goes, "Uh-oh." And whoever films her said, "What?" She goes,
Shadow people.
that she saw something in the corner, and she goes,
And it's like,
I don't want to say right now, but something's
yeah,
really weird in the corner over there. And she kept
yeah.
looking, then she found out it was like something different, but
Like if Amy's scared, I'm
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
If she came in my house and she was scared, I would be like, okay, let's move right now, not tomorrow, not the next day,
No,
now, now.
no.
I'll
Yeah,
stay in
matter
a
of fact,
hotel
I'll
till,
buy new furniture
yeah,
in case it decides to come
yeah,
with the furniture. I
or
know.
it attaches. If it's attached to me, exercise
Yeah,
me because I'm
yeah,
done. I'm done
yeah.
and over.
The scariest one, the one that freaked me out the most, though, was the guy that was a reincarnation.
I don't
I
think I
was
know
like,
that one.
oh my God. It was a brothel in, I want to say Montana or somewhere like that. And Butte, Montana, I want to say. And it was like the oldest brothel in the country. And he bought it. And he had him and his partner. Okay.
Oh, the gay
And
guys.
yeah, the gay guy. And he was
Oh, yeah,
blonde
I remember that.
and real creepy looking. And so then they sit down. She goes, well, I had a picture drawn of the guy that I was seeing. And he opens up that picture and she looks at that guy and he's looking at her. And Steve's like, what? And she goes, look at the picture and look at him. He goes, it's the same guy. She goes, yeah, he's reincarnated. I'm like, what
I remember that one.
and it
Do you
looks
know
just
that
like him.
there's people on here that were on the Dead Files? That they have channels on here that supposedly were on the Dead Files. I gotta find out
Really?
what it was. Yeah. I can't remember the name of their channels, but they were supposedly on. Maybe somebody in the chat knows, but they were supposed
Yes.
on
Oh,
the.
hang on. Mommy with three girls. I love Dad with the phone.
You
Yes,
watch
I
Dad
love
with
him.
the Phone, Misdemeanor.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever? I
I
watch him
love
a
him.
lot of times. He's awesome at true crime. He did an awesome job with the Frazee Barrett case.
I didn't see any
Great.
of his Frazee Barrett, but I've watched all of his stuff with Gannon, and
Mhm.
I just love him. I think he's amazing. I really do. I like him a lot. He's a good guy. Yep, yep, yep. Let's see what else. Oh, Captain Obvious is leaving us. Fine, I see how it is. I bathed. Come on, Captain Obvious, stay.
No, I think I'm going to shut down now. It's almost 3 hours.
Is it really?
Yeah, we've been on there that long, and we haven't screamed at each other yet.
Time
Oh,
flies.
and I haven't even muted you once. Not even muted you once.
Not yet.
Oh, I might mute you later. I know what I mean.
Yeah, know what I mean, man.
I'll see
All
you.
right.
I'll see you sometime to where today.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love you guys. Thanks for spending a couple hours with us. We had
Love
fun.
all y'all.
Love you,
And
me.
see y'all later.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.